a result, I have been established my papers on 6 dimensions. The first one is the introduction, second one, the objectives, the third one is the sources, fourth one, the concluding remarks and the references. So, dear friends, due to the paucity of the time, I may not take much more time. Just in a synoptical way, I am going to present my thought, my ideas, just before the intellectual galaxies who have been participated in this seminar from the nook and corner of the state like India. So, dear friends, when we talk about the intros, we see the medieval Odisha particularly was a phase of darkness. How to say that it was a phase of darkness? Because of the social scientists, the social, we may talk about the scholars, the historians, they have been considered the medieval Odisha, which is located in the eastern border of the Indian map on the bank of the Bay of Bengal. And everybody knows, the scholars have pointed out that it was the era, the phase of darkness because of caste and class rigidity was in practice, number one. And number two, the illiteracy. Therefore, we may talk about it was the period of the darkness, illiteracy was prevalent. Number third, the dominance. And from that point of view, many scholars who have been worked on the medieval Odisha, to whom we call the Professor B.K. Malik, Professor Himanshu Patnaik, Professor A.K. Mishra, even Bharman Kulke, the colonial historians, who have given their notions regarding the medieval Odisha as the phase of darkness. And in the meantime, when Odisha was at a political turmoil, at this critical juncture, the friends, we see the Panchasakhas, the 5 poets, the 5 socio-religious reformers. And the historians have been pointed out that they have been considered as the 5 fires, the 5 branches of the tree. And from that point of view, friends, we see the medieval Odisha was in search of a window, in search of a ray of hope, that to liberate from the clutches, from the class caste dominance. Now, dear friends, it was all about the intros, and it is the fact, dear friends. To see the medieval Odisha, Double Hunter, in his book Odisha Volume 1, Odisha Volume 2, has pointed out that in the medieval Odisha, exactly we see a movement took place. And that movement was against injustice, that movement was against inequality, that movement was against the dominance. And dear friends, when we talk about the concept of the exploitation dominance, or we may talk about the impositions of the social taboos, caste, class, rigidity in the society. And in this regard, the people of the medieval Odisha, they were in search of the window through the writings of the Panchasakhas. Who were the Panchasakhas, dear friends? Panchasakhas were Atibadi Jagannath Das, Balaram Das, Shishwananta Das, Jasavanta Das, and Achyuta Das. For your information, dear friends, whenever we are talking about, for your information, what today, during the time of the corona, the COVID-19, we all, not only the people of India or the Indians, but also in all over the world, we see the people are using masks. And for your information, dear friends, such is stormy petrel of the medieval Odisha. He was Achyutananda Dasa. Achyutananda Dasa, in his Dasapatal Malika, has pointed out that though he was born and brought up in the 15th century, He was the Trikaladarshi, as it means, the man of the knowledge, the man of the wisdom, so that he could able to predict in future people will use the mask. And he has mentioned that mask as a type of the techniques, or may talk about the tools used by the bullocks during the time of the harvesting of the paddies. That practice is going on in Odisha, usually in the rural areas we notice. And when we talk about the difference, the Balaram Das's Lakshmi Puran, when we talk about, for your information, he was the first person who has tried his level best to give the concept of the women empowerment. What exactly difference we see in the Rig Veda? In the Rig Veda, everybody knows the women, like the we may talk about Sikata, Lopamutra, Visvabhara, Apala, Ghosha. They were the lady luminaries. And to see, we may say that women empowerment was in practice in the ancient times. What today in as a global phenomenon in all over the world today, a concept of the women empowerment is going on. Therefore, the states are taking the initiatives by organizing the seminars, symposiums, and we talk about workshops. But for your information, friends, when we talk about the ancient times in the Rig Veda, the women empowerment, and also if we talk about the Chandragupta Maurya. Hello. When we may talk about the concept of the role and she played an important role. Hello. Am I audible? So Lakshmi is a pathfinder in the medieval Odisha that okay, ma'am. Just 2 minutes. I am going to finish it. So, dear friends, when we are talking about the concept of
kindly conclude. Already 7 minutes gone.
Okay, ma'am.
So sorry, time is up. I think it's more than 7 minutes.
Okay. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I am taking to maximum 1 minute.
Sure.
Okay, I have reached at the conclusion as far as my findings is concerned. No doubt we must say that Balaram Das's Lakshmi Puran was a crusade against the existing society, or we may talk about, as we all know, the Indian society is the patriarchal society. So Balaram Das's Lakshmi Puran was a crusade against the existing practices. Even everybody knows. Lakshmi gave the cause to Jagannath and Balabhadra. Therefore, they both didn't get the food. And 12 years they were in search of the food. They were wandering. And it proves that in the society, that was the past threatened, as it means, in the medieval society by Balaram Das through Lakshmi Puran. And she has again tried to establish what history repeats itself according to the Oswald Spengler, rise, growth, decay, the law of nature. So, thank you, ma'am, for your patience and for giving me that opportunity just to share my thoughts and ideas, because due to the pursuit of the time, I couldn't elaborate in details. And for these, I have referred both the primary and the secondary sources, which I have been collected from the state archives and the national archives. Thank you for giving me that opportunity and patience hearing.
So thank you so much, sir. It's a very enlightening lecture. And of course, due to time constraint, we could not give much time to you. And we will definitely invite you personally for some occasion, and it will be our pleasure to see you and
Okay,
hear
ma'am.
you directly.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome. Most welcome. ফটোটা নিথাନ୍ତି ফটো নিথাନ୍ତି সে
Second speaker, Mr. M. Nanjil Kumar, Assistant Professor, Arinyar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Balajapet, Global Warming. I invite Mr. M. Nanjil Kumar, Assistant Professor, Arinyar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Balajapet. He is going to present his paper on global warming. Mr. Ravicharan, Assistant Professor in History, Muthurangam Arts College. Impact of social media on child development. Are you available, Mr. Ravicharan? Mr. Ravichandran, I'm sorry. Miss Page, please join.
Yes, ma'am.
She is going to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, am I audible, ma'am? Good afternoon to one and all present here. Here I'm going to present on my topic, the ethno-history of the ancient Tamils during Sangam period. Here, in this paper, I have given
Please unmute, ma'am.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, audible.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Tamil Nadu has a rich diversity of plants, animals, birds, insects, and aquatic life. It is a good proportionate to the native of the state. Various Tamil literatures such as Tolkappiyam, Silappatikaram, Manimekalai, Pathupattu, Ettutogai, etc. are grouped under the name of Sangam literature, which mentions about the 5 geographical divisions: the forest, hills, coastal region, deserts, and fertile lands, which is also known as the Tinais. The 5 Tinais used to have a special tree, an animal, a bird, a flower, and a deity of their own. It was believed that the environmental factors influence the behavior and culture of each zone. The worship of trees was widely prevalent among the Tamils. The sacred groves represent the single most ecological tradition of ancient Tamil culture. The environment is where we all meet, where we all have a mutual interest. It is the one thing all of us share. In this 21st century, our people, without understanding the importance of our environment, we are polluting and destroying it. This has created a great setback in the climatic conditions that had led to global warming. The government has taken sincere efforts to create awareness among the people to conserve our nature. If we go back in the history, the ancient Tamils during the Sangam period have preserved the nature and surroundings in a unique manner. In this paper, I have made an attempt to study the ethno-history of these people who have categorized the land into 5-fold divisions and preserved the nature. The ancient Tamils, there was a saying that Kal tondri man tondra kalate valodu mun tondriya mutakudi Tamil kudi. These lines from the Sangam literary work, the Purappurul Venba Malai, depicts the antiquity and pride of the ancient Tamil people. The Tolkappiyam, the age-old Tamil grammatical work, gives importance to the nature by placing the land as the primordial object. The life of ancient Tamils was excellent in the background of the nature. They preserved and survived along with the environment, whether it is a wet land or dry land. They adapted themselves to the natural conditions. The Tolkappiyam gives Mutal, environmental, the Karu, that is the distinctive attribute, and Uri, the aspects of love life as the structural constituents of the Agam poetry. The Mudal denotes the land and the time features. Each landform is associated with distinct season and time of the day. The Uri Porul is the love behavior assigned to each of them. Karu is the tangible, that is the physical features, which speaks of the Agam life, which includes the god, their chief god, food, animal, tree, bird, occupation, and about their interest in the music. Sangam period in the history of Tamil Nadu is reckoned generally from 300 BC to 300 AD and was a golden period in the annals of Tamils in all fields, including literature and culture. The Sangam literature throws light on the religious, social, political, and economic condition of Tamil Nadu during the rule of the Chera, Chola, and Pandyan kings. The Sangam literature is not only mere poetry, it contains encyclopedic information on aspects of geography, nature, sociology, anthropology, geology, flora and fauna, music and dance, dynasties, besides vivid portraits of the common men. The abundant natural sources in the tropical country made the Sangam poems in information. Sir? The fivefold divisions of the Tamil landscapes are the Kurinji mountainous region, Mullai, the forest land, Marudam, fertile croplands, Neidal, the seashore, and Palai, the dry lands or the wastelands. The Kurinji, the mountainous region, was a hilly region rich with verdant slopes, flowers, birds, bees, and wildlife. It was the home of the nomads, the hunters, and lovers of the nature. The mountainous region has got the name Kurinji from the Kurinji flower, Strobilanthus kuntiana, which grows in the lofty hills of the Tamil country. The chief deity was Lord Muruga. The people of this region were known by the names Konavar, Vedar, and Kuravar. The chief occupation was the hunting, honey cultivation, and millet cultivation. The season of the Kurinji land was winter and time of the day was midnight. Regarding that music, Kurinji Yard and Kurinji Pan was their musical interest, and the settlements were known as Sirupudi, and that place names suffixed with the Kurichi and the Malay. Next, the Mullai, the forest land. Mullai is the land of the forest. The forest is rich with lakes, waterfalls, and trees. The trees are teak, bamboo, and sandalwood. Mullayo jasmine is the flower of the forest. Hence, the land has got its name Mullai. The people of this land were called as Ayar, Idayar, Kovalar. Their prime occupation was livestock, shifting, cultivation, husbandry, and dairy farming. Their chief deity was Mayun, Lord Krishna.
Madam, will you kindly conclude, ma'am? It's more than 7 minutes.
Yes,
please conclude, ma'am.
From the above divisions, it is very clear that the ancient Tamil people have understood the geographical conditions and climate of their regions where they live in and organized their way of life. During the days where there was no scientific development, their knowledge on environment is very astonishing. They have related all the practices with the spiritual and religious activities so that the people will respect and continue to protect the nature. However, there is no any particular reason why these developments of those ancient Tamil people went unrecognized. But now the time has come where we have stated to realize their contribution towards the environment. It is always engaging to study the lives of an ancient people as it brings to mind contrast with our current reality. It is our primary duty to preserve
Thank
and
you, madam. Thank
prevent
you, madam.
the
Thank you.
environment. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Next paper is
Vijay Lakshmi.
Mr. N.
Miss Vijay
Anjali
Lakshmi.
Kumar, Assistant Professor. Arinyar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Valajapet. Sir, irukingla? Okay, Mr. Ravichandran V, Assistant Professor in History, Muthurangam Arts College. Mrs. G. Chitra. Mrs. G. Chitra, Assistant Professor, Arinyar Anna Government Arts College. Ms. Asha Berlin, Research Scholar, Department of Zoology. Asha Berlin.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please come, ma. Please introduce yourself and the college in a 4 minutes. Ma. Please complete within 4 minutes. I invite you to take over the session to present your paper.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon to all. Now I am going. The topic is extraction and application of exoskeleton phytosen of greasy bashing metaphenyl senses. Aims and objectives: to extract and isolate phytosen from metaphenyl senses, to evaluate the antimicrobial activities of the isolated phytosen, to test the self-enhancing potential, to evaluate the blood anticoagulant activity of the phytosen. The shellfish processing industry, fish market produce large amount of byproducts such as shrimp, crab, lobster, etc. Every year, the shellfish processing industry produces large amount of wastes that could be an environmental hazard. The crustacean exoskeleton consists of polysaccharide, chitin, and calcium. In de-acylation process, the chitin produces a very useful material like phytosen. The phytosen have excellent biocompatibility, non-toxicity, biodegradability, high bioactivity, selective permeability, etc. The phytosen can be used in many fields such as medicine, cosmetology, food industry, edible film industry, biotechnology, aquaculture, and bioremediation. First, the extraction of phytosen. The shells were obtained from metaphenyl senses. The shells were soaked in 0.05 m acidic acid solution. The dried shells were demineralized using 0.68 molarity HCl. After demineralization process, the shells were deproteinized. The final product is chitin. After deacetylation, the final product is obtained as phytosen. First one is metaphenyl senses. After acid treatment, the cells were demineralized using alkali treatment. After demineralization, the cells were treated with deproteination. Then the cells were deacetylated using alkali groups NaOH. Then the final product is phytosen. Test for antimicrobial activity. The phytosen was tested against 7 selected human pathogenic bacteria, namely Proteus vulgaris, Actinomyces, E. coli, Bacillus, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Pseudomonas. Test for preservation. First, fruits and vegetables were washed with water, and then the phytosen were coated with fruits and vegetables. The changes were observed. Test for anticoagulant activity. The 3 test tube was taken, and 3 different concentration of phytosen was taken in each tubes, and fresh chicken blood was added to each tubes and absorbed at 2 minutes, 7 minutes, 30 minutes, and 24 hours. This is an antibacterial activity against 7 selected human pathogenic bacteria. Result in antibacterial activity, the maximum inhibition zone was recorded against Pseudomonas aeruginosa, 20.38. In phytosen treated tomatoes showed no spoilage after 7 days of observation, but the control was ripened and shrink skin. The control tomatoes which were refrigerated also showed strengthened skin. The hydrogen coated refrigerated tomatoes become ripe but remain fresh on 20-day observation. The chicken blood treated with 5 ml hydrogen showed no clarity after 24 hours of observation. This is antibacterial activity of hydrogen from metaphenaisensis against the pathogen tested. This is a blood anticoagulant activity of hydrogen. Conclusion: hydrogen is found in exoskeleton of insects like steam crab, lobster, etc. The result of the study concluded that the prepared hydrogen could be a commercially food and drug preparation. The antibacterial activity study indicate that the hydrogen can be used in the commercial available antibiotics. The study to prepare hydrogen was economical and it could be a way to use the stem cell waste, which would be otherwise go unutilized as a mere waste to pollute in the environment. Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me, madam, will you kindly conclude, ma'am? Time is up. Will you kindly conclude? Kindly conclude, ma'am. Just your outcome alone, you can just say.
Hydrogen is economically available. The result of the antibacterial activity indicates the hydrogen can be used in drug and food preservation. The hydrogen is used in many applications such as medicine, cosmetic, paper industry, textile industry, biotechnology, edible film industry, photography, etc. In medicine, the hydrogen can be used in wound healing, anti-inflammatory function, anti-oxidative function, antibacterial action, etc. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Now I call upon Dr. G. Rajkumar, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. Dr. E. Rajkumar, please take over. Dr. E. Rajkumar. Mrs. A. Sangeeta. Mrs. A. Sangeeta, Department of History and Tourism. Mrs. Brinda, Research Scholar, Bharathi Women's College. S. Brinda, Research Scholar, Bharathi Women's College.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Within 4 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Before going to start my presentation, I would like to thank you all for giving this wonderful opportunity. I'm going to present my topic on
Development of the environmental protection law.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Before going to start my presentation, I would like to thank you all for giving this wonderful opportunity. I'm going to present my topic on the history of the origin and development of the environmental protection laws in India. We are all aware of the importance of environment. According to Atharva Veda verse, man's paradise is on the earth. This living world is the beloved place of all. It has the blessings of nature's bounties. Live in a lovely spirit. The environment plays a vital role in human life. In addition to that, inside the improvement of the society with developing technology and industrialization, the purity of the environment has been threatened to an appealing extent. Protection of environment and maintaining ecological stability unaffected is a venture which is not only authorities but also every individual, association, and organization ought to undertake. Through international environment treaties and conferences, countries-wide legislative measures taken to control environmental problems in India. We go through our past decades. We had lots of environment protection rules which had been made by our ancestors, particularly ancient and medieval India. An appraisal of the ancient historical past to environmental protection in India might suggest that forest and wildlife have been taken into consideration as a critical element of the worldwide system. The roots of the ecology exist in natural history, which is the antique on human civilization itself. Our historical Indian texts have reference to ecological principles. The classical text of the Vedic period, which include the Vedas, Samhitas, the Brahmanas, and the Aryankas. The Upanishads incorporate many connection with ecological concepts. Smriti prohibited the cutting of trees via way of means of prescribing punishment for such acts. Smriti has also declared cutting of trees and forest as a punishable offense and has also prescribed penalties of 20 to 80 pana. Great Mauryan king Ashoka's fifth pillar edict expressed his view approximately the welfare of the creature within the state. In medieval India, there was a harmony between man and nature. However, at some point of time, medieval period, the best contribution of the Mughal Empire has been the established under magnificent of gardens, fruits, orchards, and green parks, which have been used vacation resorts, the place of retreat or temporary headquarters for the duration of the summertime. The British domination in India gave rise to the seizure of natural resources coupled with a complete indifference towards environmental protection. For example, the Fisheries Act 1897, the Bengal Smoke Nuisance Act 1905, Wild Bird and Animal Protection Act 1912. These acts were best example for environment-related laws made by the British government. Thus, from the time immemorial, the environment was protected by various means in the same manner after India its independence. Our leaders, while framing of the constitution for our country, held in mind not only the economic growth and welfare of the people, even the environmental protection was taken into consideration. To maintain and handle various environmental disputes, which involves yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you conclude it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to conclude my presentation. There are around 200 to 200 central and state laws in India that address environmental issues. For example, if there is no legislation, it will be more difficult to enforce the laws. For effective enforcement, there is a need for comprehensive and integrated environmental protection law. We are celebrating Vanamotsav Day to plant trees and spread environmental awareness to the school students and college students. In many schools, colleges has been planting trees under the NSS program. But after planting the trees, the following work is not have been taken care properly. If more attention has to given the environment to protect entire life of the species. The environmental board and the laws alone cannot function to the fullest extent. The needs of the hour is the people's realization and work with responsibility. If we cannot protect our environment, it leads to the natural disasters such as flood, global warming, earthquake, landslides, etc. Here I am going to conclude my presentation with the pledge of plant more trees to save our world. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Brinda.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, it was a nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any specific area you have taken for environmental protection? Any
Yes,
specific area you have
yes,
been?
ma'am. I have taken special area after independence period, ma'am. We have
Okay.
made due to time short, I cut it down, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
So we have Environmental Protection Act 1986 and Water Act, as well as we have Wildlife Protection Act and also Air Protection Act. We have many kinds of act, ma'am.
Okay. So how will you create awareness in the schools and colleges for protecting the environment?
We can create awareness towards the students through NSS program or YRC regarding planting trees and how it is important to our wildlife. So we can give some seminars or important classes. Through that, we can give awareness to the school students and college students, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Brinda, nice presentation and nice way you have answered. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I want to take risk or something. No, sure.
Madam, first of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Mrs. Geeta Priya, Madam. She's the head of the Department of Anna Adarsh College for Women. Amidst her busy schedule, Madam has consented to be here as a session chair. Madam, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank you,
welcome
ma'am.
Madam.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity you have given to us, given to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next paper is from Dr. J.D. Pratisha Fernando, Department of History and Tourism, Anna Adarsh College for Women. Madam, you
Yes.
came and your staff paper has come.
Yeah. Okay.
Dr. J.D. Pratisha.
But
good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I am Dr. Patricia Fernando from Meenakshi College, ma'am. So my paper
Oh, I'm
is,
sorry. It is given as.
yeah,
Sorry.
nobody from Anna.
Welcome, ma'am. Yeah, okay, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. There is some
No
mistake.
problem.
Please come.
okay,
We
ma'am.
welcome you.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity, ma'am. My paper is on trade and trading centers in ancient Tamilagam, a study. So trade and trading centers are the unique part of ancient Tamil peoples. So archaeological evidences, inscriptions, and Sangam literary works and foreign notices provide valuable information about trade and trading centers in ancient Tamilagam. So Tamilagam is a part of Indian peninsula. So as it had a natural boundaries, it paved way for the growth of trade and ports in various parts of Tamilagam in ancient period. So as far as an elaborate study has been made in this article to focus the trade and trading centers as well as the trade guilds in ancient period. So in ancient period, trade had both in ancient period, that is during Sangam period, they had both the internal as well as the external trade. So the internal trade took place in the means of barter system, that means the exchange of goods. So similarly, in the same way, the Tamilagam also carried an extensive and brisk commercial trade contact with Egypt and Greek, Roman, and Malaysia, China. So the trade guilds were also variously called as the Paratavar, Ainutruvar, Nanadesi, Valingar, Chitrameli, Periyanata, Naharata, and which was revealed through the inscriptions, epigraphical sources. So some of the important trading centers of Tamilagam, ancient Tamilagam were Musuri, Korkai, Palehayal, Kaveri Pumpattinam, Alankulam, Kanjipuram, Mamallapuram, and Arikamedu. So which all provided through the excavational sources. So Musuri is the seaport of Cheras. So it had references from the Periplus, Mediterranean Sea, and as well as the Pliny's natural history. There is a extent of good trade contact between our country and that countries. So here there is also export and import took place during this period. So in Korkai also, Korkai is the ancient port town of Pandyas. So there is the archaeological excavations which was conducted in the year 1968 to 1969 and 1970 to 71. So all this shows, all this referred that the trade, there is a trade center for pearl fishery as well as the pearl trade. So like Palehayal, which is nearer to Korkai. So it is referred by Marco Polo, Venetian traveler, as Koyal as a great and noble city. Kontai Koyal, they referred. So it is a trading center of the Pandya, another trading center of Pandya. So here we have come across the horse trade also in this. So here the excavations reveals the white bluish white stone ware, that is potsherds. So which shows that it had a trade contact with the foreign countries like China as well as the Arab. So this Arab trade leads to the trade of horse trade. So then Alankulam, so it is another port town of the Pandyas. So it had a continuous excavations took place in the year 1986-87 and continuously up to 1998. And again, it was also excavation conducted in the year 2014 to 2015. So this place is situated in the river bank of River Kaveri in Ramanathapuram district. So this its ancient name is Muruhur. So it provides the potsherds which provided during the excavations, rouleted pot and amphora ware and rare pink ware and punch marked coins. All this proved that there is a flourished trade and trade relations where they had the trade relations during Pandya period with the foreign countries. Then Kanjipuram, so it is the capital city of the Pallavas of Tondai Mandala. So here also a continuous excavations took place in the year 2000 to 2014. So all this period, it revealed the various kinds of potters like slipped ware, rouleted ware, conical jaws, and terracotta objects, coins, beads. So all this shows that there is a trade contact with China as well as the Roman countries. So Mamalapuram, so it is the port city of Pallavas, and it was also mentioned, Pattinapalai mentioned this place as the Nirpayar, which is the port town, which is the port city of the Pallavas. So here also we have come across the number of
concluded within minutes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. References. Next, Narikemedu, which is situated in Pondicherry. Here also we come across the lot of potsherds, which is and coins, Roman coins, which ensures the trade with the foreign other countries. So here, as a part of conclusion, the excavations, inscription, literary sources, foreign notices, all reveals that the systematic trading systems, trading centers, and trade guild were existed in ancient Tamilagam, which formed the part and parcel of the Tamil people. So the trade enriched the economy of the Tamil people. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Patricia.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice way of presentation. Actually, this trading centers of ancient Tamil Nadu, and you have explained about the excavations and how it is important for economic development and all you have told. Nice, ma'am. Nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We can go for next person.
Now I call Mrs. A. Tunkulali, Assistant Professor of History, Arjun Anna Government Arts College for Women, Balajapet, Biodiversity. Mrs. A. Tunkulali. Angel Francis, Richard Scholar, Department of Zoology, Scott Christian College.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Audible. You can proceed now.
Now I am going to present. My topic is characterization of a textile industry effluent. The liquid textile industry waste contain many organic and inorganic high electrical conductivity, high ion concentration, low dissolved oxygen, and high biological oxygen demand indicate the degradation of water quality. The present study aims to investigate selected physiochemical parameters, including color, total solids, TDS, BOD, COD, total alkalinity, total hardness, chloride, sodium, sulfates.
On video.
Materials and methods. The sampling. First, the effluent was collected from textile industry report, and then that textile effluent was for further analysis. And there are 11 parameters were studied. First one is color. Color is measured by multi-wavelength method according to APA 2017. The total solids and were according to IS 2019 and 2018. Here the sample was operated, and stored in the desiccator. 2 ml of textile wastewater was added to the sample disk and evaporated. The total
Excuse me, Ms. Angel.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. Can you unmute your video, please? Because it's a live streaming, no? They can
Yes,
see
ma'am.
you. Can you unmute your video? Is it possible?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So we just want to know who's presenting and all. We just want to know who's presenting and all. We just want to know
It's okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm going to start. Characterization of a textile industry effluent. The liquid textile waste contains lot of organic and inorganic compounds. It contains high pH, electrical conductivity, high ion concentration, low dissolved oxygen, high biological oxygen demand to indicate the degradation of water quality. In my present study, investigate the physiochemical parameters such as color, total solids, TDS, BOD, COD, total alkalinity, total hardness, chloride, sodium, sulfates, and ion. In my experiment, I collect the textile effluent from Tripur according to Ramban Press 1992 APA 2017 stored for further analysis. There are 11 parameters were conducted. First one is color. The color was measured by multi-wavelength method. Next, the total solids and total dissolved solids. According to IS 2019 and 2018, the total solids and total dissolved solids were analyzed. In my the water sample was evaporated, desiccated, weighed, and stored. The 250 ml of textile wastewater was added the sample disk. The total solids and total dissolved solids were measured by the following formula: mg per L is equal to 1000 m by V. Here m was mass in mg of total residue, and V is equal to volume of ml in the sample. Next, chemical oxygen demand. And the COD was conducted according to APA 2017. The sample blank and standard was measured at a selected wavelength. The difference between the absorption and absorbance and given digested sample and the digested blank is a measure of the sample COD. Next, total alkalinity. 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator was added to 20 ml of sample and titrated with the standard sulfuric acid solution till pink color just disappears, which shows equivalence of pH 8.3. 20 ml of samples was titrated with the standard acid to obtain light pink color.
Ma'am, concluded within minutes.
Next, sulfates. The sulfates in the sample was estimated by turbidity method. Here, 20 ml of water sample was diluted, 20 ml in 100 ml was taken. Hydrochloric acid solution and 1 ml of conditioning reagent was added and mixed well. The absorption was read with, from spectrophotometer. Then sodium, 50 ml of textile effluent is diluted and evaporated to
already
dryness.
time is
The
up.
residue is cooled
Please
and
concluded within
1
minutes.
ml of
Does Angel come to
distilled water.
conclusion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
The results from the present investigation shows the textile dye contain high level of color, total solids, TDS, POD, COD, and total alkalinity, total hardness, chloride, sodium, sulfates, and iron. The level of certain parameters exceeds the permissible limits prescribed by the TNPCB, BIS, and WHO, which reveals the proper treatment methods are adapted to reduce the pollution load of the textile effluent. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Angel.
Thank you, Angel.
Nice way of presentation, and your research is also excellent. Thank you.
Next, I welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am. Next, I welcome Kamala Devi, yes, Assistant Professor, Queen Mary's College, to present. Now I call Kamala Devi, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Queen Mary's College.
Dr. Kamala Devi.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Now I welcome P. Prachi Selvi, Research Scholar, Department of History, Queen Mary's College. Going to present marriage system of Indian rural tribes in Kanchipuram district. Prachi Selvi, Research Scholar, Department of History, Queen Mary's College.
Ma'am, we can go for next person.
Okay. Now I call Deepika, yes, Assistant Professor, and Sri Ranjani, Department of History, MCC, Historical.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Deepika.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Sri Ranjani.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, one and all present here. So, okay, I would like to start by thanking everyone for the opportunity. So, today's topic is historical perspective of environmental science innovations used in archaeological research. Excuse me. So in short, I would like to say that the usage and influences of various environmental sciences in archaeological research. The abstract here, it's impossible to assess long-term human activities without taking the environment and its sciences into consideration. Environmental changes are intricately tied to a variety of historical crescendos, including social structures, economic situations, political systems, cultural and religious traditions, and so on. All these phenomena are entwined with variety of ecological and environmental details. To understand the long humanoid history, it is essential to understand the environmental sciences as a multidisciplinary approach. Through many methodological discoveries made on environmental sciences over the course of 300 years, this study has steadily grown into the area of archaeology and history in recent years. Discuss and highlight the contributions of intellectuals of environmental science findings and their theories that have aided archaeological and historical research to understand and reconstruct the past. Evolutionary biology, absolute dating, geophysical method, and conclusion. Introduction. Environmental science is an interdisciplinary branch of study that combines physical, biological, and information sciences. Ecology, biology, geology, social sciences, botany, atmospheric science, physics, zoology, and chemistry are included in the environmental science field. Because it is such a broad field of study, there has been a huge amount of research and discoveries in the field over many centuries. In their own mode, these disciplines have evolved a variety of concepts and approaches with numerous scientific principles and methodologies. History and archaeology, on the other hand, already study the human past. To evaluate the state of archaeological and historical analysis, several principles and research methodologies are employed. These features have evolved over time, particularly with the help of environmental science. Findings in the realm of environmental sciences, cultural and historical perspectives on early human lifestyles and activities have become increasingly well-defined in years. Some of these significant scientific breakthroughs and their discoveries that have assisted in the history are highlighted here. Historical geology. Focuses on the properties and the study of planet's history. The study of a planet's history is one of the subfields in geology known as historical geology. For a very long period of time, people relied on inspired stories rather than scientific investigations to explain Earth beginning. Ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am?
You are audible. You are audible. Continue.
Audible. You can proceed.
Okay. So stratigraphy is also important for reconstructing the landscape of habitation and historical conditions, as well as for understanding the process of site development known as site formation processes.
Can you share your presentation, Sri Ranjani?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, have you finished conclusion?
So the second topic is evolutionary biology, and which is the theory of evolution found on the idea that all species are connected and evolve over time. So absolute dating in archaeology and geology is identifying age through certain chronology. At last, it is geophysical method. Geophysical approaches give a general idea of the spatial. These methodologies are employed extensively by the archaeologists as it is a non-destructive method. So I would like to conclude.
Sri Ranjani is there? Sri Ranjani?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Come to conclusion.
Yes, ma'am. I would conclude by telling that as we progress in the realm of sciences, several advanced concepts and methodologies are developed and employed periodically in the science field. Slowly from 19th century onwards, several science principles and methods began to aid other fields as a result of multidisciplinary approach. Paper illustrates about the usage influences of various environmental sciences in archaeological.
Thank you, Sivaranjani. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Sivaranjani. Sri Ranjani. Yeah, nice presentation. I think some network issues, the voice was not that much very clear. Nice presentation, ma. Thank you.
Thank you, Sivaranjani. Next, I welcome P. Purachi Selvi, Research Scholars, Department of History, Queen Mary's College. P. Purachi Selvi.
Ma'am. Ma'am, audible, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, audible. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Audible, ma'am.
Yeah, you are audible.
You can proceed.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon to all. I am Purachi Selvi, Department of History from Queen Mary's College. My topic is Marriage System of Irula Tribes in Kanjipuram District. Marriage is a social contract to the satisfaction of physical, biological, psychological, and spiritual needs of male and female, leading to the formation of family to bring up children and live
It's
together.
Video.
Sorry, ma'am. One second. Ma'am.
Ma'am, video on பண்ணுங்க ma'am. Okay.
Physical relationship and procreation and undoubtable the primary aims of marriage. Jacob and Strahm said, marriage is a term for social relationship of human bond of husband and wife of plural metals, also used for the ceremony of unity marital partners. Type of marriage. Out of the several types of marriage found among tribe of India, polygamy, polyandry, monogamy. Polygamy, Greek word, many marriage. Polygamy is from marriage is which one man married one more than women at given time. At present, it may be present in primitive tribe like Indian tribes, Baigas and Gondas. Palliatory is the marriage one woman with several men. It is practiced among the Morganese island of Polynesia, the Bahama of Africa, and tribes of Somia. In India, among tribes of Tayan, Toda, Koda, and Poda tribes prevalent. Irula in Kanjipuram district. Kanjipuram has been described as Mokshaburi. It is religious capital of South India. Kanji is unique district with a long and glorious culture and historical background. Kanjipuram had several and early Chola capital. After Pallava dynasty, Kanjipuram grew in importance when the Pallava of southern. Kanjipuram was initially known as Chengalpattu district. It was 1977 in Kanjipuram and Trivallur district. As presented in 1991 census, the total scheduled tribe population of Chengalpattu MGR district is 57,000 above. Among this population, majority belong Irula community, which is the second largest tribe of Tamil Nadu. Irula meaning means darkness night. They may called because the color of skin dark. Jungles inhabit hunt. Irula Kasabas Uralis Williams derived Villu, which means bow one hence. Williams means bowman. Irula types of Irula: hill area Irula, plain Irula, coastal Irulas. Irula marriage. Irula is inhabit the area of the Kanjipuram district in Tamil Nadu. Their population in the religion estimate 24,000 above. The Irula belong to Dravidian family. Monogamous marriage is the rule, but a few polygamous marriage occur. The Irula from endogamous caste with 12 endogamous participations. Edgar Thurston found them. They recognized tribal subdivision in a value of marital purpose. The practice seems to exist to a certain extent even this day. Neil then described the way Irulas, particularly those town wedding presently among Irula have been extremely costly affair as is exists among the caste. The parents of the Chrome spend a few thousand rupees one celebration, and the bride's partners are expected to spend the equivalents of clothes, jewelries, and household unities. The guest at the wedding bring cash contribution to couple. Consider as a loan returnable at future wedding. In some areas, wedding
Kindly
is
conclude
simple
that
ceremony.
within minutes.
Consider simple tried
Conclusion.
tali without in ritual feeling small family groups. Concluding, my topic is concluding presentation. The study conclude that Irula people marriage system very unique and traditional since censustic regulation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Purichiselvi.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice presentation.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear?
Ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Yeah, it's audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have explained about the marriage system of tribes of it's Irulas.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
it was very nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I call Dr. G. Krishnamurthy and Mrs. Asafia Banu, Department of History, Presidency College. Asafia Banu.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
You can proceed now, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Introduce your topic and proceed now, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Asfia Banu here, and I'm going to my topic for the presentation is impact of rural tourism on the socio-economic conditions of weavers in Pochampally, Nalgonda district. First, I'll introduce myself. I am from the TDS college, but I'm doing my research in Presidency College under Dr. Krishnamurthy sir. I would like to thank Dr. Prabhu Kumari ma'am for giving this opportunity and the college, Bharati Women's College, for giving this opportunity to present the paper. I try to stick to the points and I'll try to finish my presentation within the stipulated time. The topic is the impact of rural tourism on the condition, the socio-economic conditions of weavers in Pochampally, Nalgonda district. Here, first, I would like to share my presentation, ma'am. Just 1 second, ma'am. One minute, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yeah.
No, Asfia.
Ma'am, it's not visible?
No, your screen is not visible.
1 minute, ma'am. I'll just because if I now is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah,
yes,
now
ma'am.
it's
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So to start with, first I'll just give a small introduction about rural tourism. As we know that rural tourism, it is mainly about participating in the rural life. And as we know that India is a land of villages, which has the plethora of culture, tradition, and lifestyle. Rural tourism is all about focusing on those parts of India which treasures, like every village is blessed with all the unique features, and especially when we talk about handloom industry, it's a vast industry. So now here in this, I'll be focusing on the socio-economic impacts, how through the rural tourism, it helps in the development of the state as well as the specific place and the weavers together. Especially main focus is on the weavers' socio-economic status here. Then my study area is Kochimpalli, which is one of the most important place in the district Nalgonda, which is in the state of Telangana. And here Kochimpalli, the government has already recognized Kochimpalli as a very important rural tourism spot, and they have a cluster of villages. Nearly about 80 villages are there, which involve themselves in tie and dye sari, like that is both the silk and cotton in different different counts of over there. Now, especially when we talk about the ikat handloom weaving, it is a technique which has been passed on from many generations and generations, and it is indigenous to the specific region here. And the handloom weaving in Nalgonda is clearly considered as that speciality which has allowed it to survive in the state of Telangana. And when we talk about this famous Kochimpalli Ikat tie and dye, it has won the intellectual right in the year 2002. It was given as in the 2008. It was given as a geographical indication stamp. So it is it is there on the world map of geographical indicators as well. Then when we talk about the role of handloom ikat weaving in rural tourism development, it has given immense opportunities to consider this place for the development of rural tourism. There are many points I have mentioned in the presentation, ma'am, but I do not want to read it all one by one. Just I focus on the important points. Here, the ikat handloom weaving helps in the rural development of the region as well as the weavers. Now, weavers it helps in creating more and more employment opportunities, especially when we talk about the rural women, and it helps in raising the income level of the weavers' families. It also helps in generating more and more foreign exchange, and it improves the culture, health, and education facilities overall in the rural communities. When we talk about the cluster of villages in Kochimpalli, they are immensely benefiting. But there are few drawbacks which, while doing the study, while conducting the study, I have come across few things which I have suggested at the end. Now, when I talk about the main important objectives of my study, what I have tried to include in the study is to identify the brief geographical profile of the study area, that is Kochimpalli, and then find out the impact of ikat handloom weaving on Kochimpalli on the socio-economic conditions of rural weavers. There was a sampling and the interview conducted, like the methodology and the third.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, am I
conclude, ma'am, within minutes to come
sure,
a conclusion, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just conclude, ma'am. With the help of the study which was conducted there in Kochimpalli, it actually gave a lot of idea. Like we have come across with the important village clusters. Few I have listed here on the screen, and then we spoke away. I came across with a substantial the study about the tourist arrival with Kochimpalli, how it has helped in increasing the number of tourists here, and then few suggestions which includes about suggestions to the state to the government of Telangana in developing the rural tourism and providing more and more funds for the development. Even few of the infrastructure facilities are not up to the mark, so that can be improved. Under suggestions and recommendations, I have focused more on the infrastructure facilities, because the handlooming clusters or the community is excellent. They are doing their beautiful job of uplifting, maintaining the handloom, the traditional handloom weaving, and with the help of the government's support, they can do wonders. As we know that it is there already on the geotag map, it can also help in bringing in more and more number of rural tourists here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Asriya.
I conclude here, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Asriya. It was nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, just I have one question. Why
Yes,
you have taken this ikat? Can you just explain about this technique of this ikat weaving? Yeah.
Why have I taken this topic, ma'am?
Yes.
Actually, to be really frank, it is the place is very close to my heart, as I am I'm from the same place, Telangana. I'm from Hyderabad, and we had a close connection with the place Nalagunda where my relatives are there. Now, since I was a frequent visitor there, I personally happened to visit a lot of times the local communities, the cluster villages I'm talking about. They are keeping up the tradition of the hand weaving. That is, they collect the silk buds and all. They weave it. The technique what is involved is in preparing and coming up with a final product. It involves a lot of it involves a lot of hard work, and they do that with a lot of dedication. So that has actually interested me in taking up this topic and trying to find out what more can be done to help these communities. That is the main focus of my PhD. Even this is actually the main topic of my PhD as well. So related to this, I am doing the study on it now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I hope I answered the question, ma'am.
Yes, you answered nicely. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Next, I call now Dr. B. Meghala, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Queen Mary's College, Chennai. Next, I welcome Dr. B. Meghala, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Queen Mary's College. Now I call Dr. P. Meghala, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Queen Mary's College.
Ma'am, you can call the next person, ma'am.
Next, I call now B. Abhirami, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. B. Abhirami, Research Scholar, Department of History. Next, I call Professor Sivasangari, Guest Lecturer, Department of History, under Anna Government College for Women, Balajipet. Sivasangari, Professor Sivasangari. P. Kavita Palani, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University.
We can go for next person.
Okay. Brinda Kumari, Department of History and Tourism, Anna Others College for Women.
Nobody is there from Annadesh like that. History and tourism. We don't have department.
Pardon, ma'am?
Brinda Kumari, history and tourism, not in Annadesh College, ma'am. This is only tourism and travel management.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, Brinda Kumari from Meenakshi College, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. There is some confusion. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. You can call the next person, ma'am.
Miss Brinda Kumari is there?
Brinda Kumar.
Brinda Kumari இருக்கீங்களாமா? Next person. Mr. Jitendra Das. Mr.
Yes,
Jitendra
doctor.
Das, Institute of
Yes,
Hotel
doctor.
Management.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah,
Am I
please
audible, doctor?
join the session. So you can conclude in 5 minutes. Please join.
Right, doctor.
Yeah.
I'll start, doctor.
Yeah, please. Yeah, start.
Is it visible, doctor? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Right. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Prabhu Kumari madam and entire team of Bharati Women's College for giving me this opportunity. Straight away coming to the topic for my presentation today is responsible tourism at Ajgabinath Temple, Sultanganj, a way forward towards sustainability. The flow of my presentation includes introduction, the objectives, the methodology, the findings, conclusions, and suggestion. The start of new millennium, as all of you know, has given a boost to the tourism industry, and tourism industry is the fastest growing industry in many countries. And in connection to the sustainability development, even World Tourism Organization is involving itself actively since 2002 to ensure sustainable development at many tourism destinations. Sustainable tourism further advanced as responsible tourism in due course of time. And in words of Professor Harold Goodwin, better places for people to live in and better places for people to visit is the meaning of this word responsible tourism. And when it comes to who is responsible, responsible tourism is the responsibility of everyone, which involves the government, the local authorities, the tourism industry, the local people, and the tourists themselves. Even Ministry of Tourism, Government of India has strategically outlined it in its policy, and it is committed to ensure that every tourist in India is physically invigorated, mentally rejuvenated, culturally enriched, and spiritually elevated. And if we look into detail, responsible tourism covers all these 4 points, which is put forward by Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Straight away coming to the location, Sultanganj. Sultanganj is located in lap of nature in the Bhagalpur district of Bihar. It is situated on the south bank of Holy River Ganges, around 25 kilometers west of Bhagalpur. And actually there are 2 huge granite rocks in the river on which this Lord Shiva temple is there. And there is one more hill where we have one mosque, but in image, the second image, which is the down image, right hand side, we can see the long view of the Ajgabinath temple. As all of we know, culture and heritage tourism acts as medium to reconstruct and communicate the national solidarity. And for this, whenever we have a tourism, it gives a positive growth to the socio-economic status of the local people, and local people plays a major role in developing tourism at a destination. And why we have taken this study is it is going to help the local people, the tourists, the authorities. It will encourage the people to invest more, and even foreign exchange earning will be there. And there are 3 famous temples in Bihar and Jharkhand, this Ajgavinath temple being one of them. The objective, to study the cultural and archaeological significance of the place, to discover the existing environment-friendly practices being adopted by the tourists and local residents at the site, and to analyze the status of responsible tourism towards sustainable development of the location. We'll not go into details of each and everything. The details are there in the full-length paper. Quickly, we'll try to recap only the important points. And methodology followed is collection through secondary data, through books, journals, and primary data, which is questionnaire was utilized to collect the data, and focus groups were also consulted. Altogether, 2 different questionnaires were prepared, and target was for 150 tourists and 150 people. However,
to come conclusion, sir.
Right, ma'am. And these are the findings. Like we have some carvings which had been found of the Buddhism period, and there are many antique things which is available in the museum. One of the statue is in the Birmingham Museum now.
Concluded within 1 minute.
Right, madam. I'll do it, madam. And it says that only 68% of the tourists are really aware about this responsible tourism. Remaining people, they are not aware. So it is important for the government to include public-private partnership, and they can try to spread awareness of the people to the tourists through the print and the electronic media. And the awareness program about the responsible tourism may also be organized at the school levels. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, sir. It was nice presentation, and you have taken a peculiar place for responsible tourism, sir. It was very nice presentation. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ma'am. It's Brinda Kumari, PhD research scholar from Meenakshi College. Shall I present now, ma'am?
Ma, can you just wait for 5 minutes if you don't mind?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I call upon Dr. B. Mekala, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Queen Mary's College, Chennai. Madam is going to speak on hero stone sculptures at Sri Venkateshwara Temple. Dr. B. Mekala, madam. Mekala, madam.
Hello, video audio.
Mekala, madam, are you there? Yeah, he's waiting. No,
My topic.
Join the session. Vanga, ma'am. Welcome, madam. Please come. Please join the session.
My topic is on hero stone sculpture at Sri Venkateshwara Temple. Okay. Hero stones were erected to heroes whom laid down their lives in the battles and for prevented breaches in rivers, lakes, and tanks during the flood time. There are a lot of references regarding hero stone in ancient literary works and inscriptions. This hero stone is discovered by me. It's situated in front of Sri Venkateshwara Temple tank at Madurandagam Taluk, belongs to the later Chola period. Still, pujas are performed to this sculpture by the temple priests. The people are worshipped in this hero stone every day. So totally it reflects the culture of our people. The purpose of my paper is to give a clear picture of the hero stone that have been discovered by me, situated in front of the Sri Venkateshwara Temple tank. I would like to make some preliminary observation on 2 related aspects. One of the diffusion pattern of hero stone and another on the significance of meaning the term Nadukal and Virakal distribution pattern from the distribution pattern map of the provinces of the hero stones, it would appear that they have a high concentration in the northwestern portion of Tamil Nadu. The hero stones discovered by the Department of Archaeology, Tamil Nadu, have highlighted this point. Greater availability of Virakal in the district of Nathaka, Dharmaburi, Salem, etc. than in other parts of Tamil Nadu. It is well known that neighboring tracts of the Canada country also and the ancient land of the Ganges, Nolambia, etc. Virakallu have been found. They have been as far as west as the Kadamba country near Goa. In the vicinity of Chittoor district alone, more than 100 Virakals have been found. Comparatively speaking, the impact of the practice of erecting stones for years seems to have been lessened on the Chola and Pandya country. If we are to judge by the number of hero stones available, it seems to have been prevalent more in the Tonde Mandalam and Kongu Mandalam than in the Chola or even the Pandyan territory. The reason for this pattern of distributions have to be carefully studied in the entire South Indian context. This will also give us an idea of the sources of diffusion. Nadukal and Virakal, the difference between the Nadukal and Virakal, the former refers to the mode of burial, funerary in nature that was popular during the megalithic and subsequently in the Sangam times. From the Tolkappiyam and Manimegalai, we know the Nadukal was a stone chamber or stone erected over the post excavation remains of the dead person. This was practiced as a burial mode even for an ordinary person, not necessarily a hero. In fact, the Nadukal had come to be a synonymous to the dead, and since the dead were honored, the Nadukal were also worshipped, the way in which the event in the common parlance. Yes, I'll tell the location of hero stone. The hero stone discovered by me is located in front of the Sri Venkateshwara temple tank, which is situated on the east of the Maduranthangam town. This temple was built around 900 years ago. The principal deity Sri Venkateshwara, a concert is Sri Meenakshi Amman, Sri Venkateshwara temple tank called Vidagar. I'll go for a description of the sculpture. The hero stone is engraved on a granite stone slab without inscription, is highly intact position, is facing straight and in the standing posture. A long sword, yes, I'm going to finish it. Just 2 more words. A long sword in his left and penetrated from one side of his neck to another side, whereas the other hand holding sword behind his head. This depicts a sacrificing head scene. Shall I conclude now? Hero stones were erected to commemorate the heroic acts of a person, whereas this hero stone might have been erected for the hero was dead while fighting to prevent the breaches in the tank during the flood bank. Since Maduranthangam Lake itself experienced this type of breaches frequently, so people worshipping him as a god, this practice is continued even today. Thank you so much for everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful presentation.
And next, I call Brinda Kumari, Department of History.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon. My topic is culture and tradition, ethnic aspects of Kiranur, a study. The village Kiranur is situated in Nanilam Taluk in Tanjavur district. Before under Tanjavur, it was before in Thiruvarur district. The village was surrounded by Valuvur, Perambalur, Perunjeri, Pillur, Sri Puliyur. The early history of Kiranur and its surroundings areas during the pre-Sangam age. The temple inscriptions provide a detailed information about the social conditions of Kiranur. The inscriptions found in the temple mainly says about the Chola period, the cultural ideas and idols accepted and cherished by the people, and various institutions and activities were embellished and sustained and gave a complete true picture about the Kiranur. And we have different categories of peoples with a different caste. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are surrounded in these villages. More or less, we get authentic information from the inscriptional base. And Brahmins, as usual, they have a very leading place in the learning aspects, and they are used to appreciation in the knowledge also. The second category in Kshatriyas, they used to do all the works next to the Brahmanas. And next is Vaishyas, they used to go for the next group of the caste hierarchy. and they were generally about the trading people through the Kiranur, where the village is located. And we have the Vellalas. They are the very important set of people who resided in the Kiranur areas. Vellalas were a pure Dravidians. And not only that, next category is about the Sudras, the lowest caste, which was found in the society. And they used to work for the other three people. And the other important thing, they have the Vellalas. Isai Vellala community is also surrounded the group in Kiranur. Their main important work to perform the music with the different types of instruments, and they used to perform the various festival times about the pujas, and they used to perform the domestic functions in various houses also. And the people in the Kiranur area, they used to have the separate places and the streets, and they used to practice a very ritual manner. And not only that, with this I conclude, finally the status of women is also very prominent, and they used to settle and they got the chances from their Sangam period. And not only that, they have evidence in the inscription where from the society of people also gained more interact with the societies. With this I conclude. Thank you for giving me a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for all of you.
Thank you for your short and sweet presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I welcome Kamala K, Department of History and Tourism, Anna Others College for Women.
Ma'am, I'm College for Women, not Anna Others College, ma'am.
Meenakshi College.
Yes, ma'am. Department of History, ma'am, not Tourism. Yes,
Department of History. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
You can.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Today I'm going to present my topic, a study of agricultural labor status in Viluppuram district. So why I choose the Viluppuram district means because the Viluppuram districts are producing more production than other district and past 10 years. So for that my paper, I selected 16 villages of Viluppuram and comprising both dry and wetland by random sampling method, and conducted the survey among 400 respondents. However, conducted the survey in such a way that more population of landless labor was covered under the survey. The ratio of landless laborers and cultivators come labor were reported as 65.3 and 31.3%. And the ratio of casual and attached labor were 97% and 3%. With respect to the working hours, 95% were reported to be working 5 hours per day, and 4.5% reported 7 hours per day, and only 0.5% reported to be working 8 hours per day. As per the survey outcome, 99.8% responded received wage as cash in hand, and the rest received farm produce as a wage income. About the type of land holding of cultivators come labor, 140 responded were holding less than 1 acre of dry land, and 58 responded were holding less than 1 acre of wetland. From the study, I have found that 0.5% of responded used traditional techniques for land preparation works, and 6% of responded used modern techniques, and 28.25% of responded used both TT and MT for land preparation. I have analyzed the sources of irrigation and found open well method being employed by majority of respondents, and 6% of respondents used borewell system, and 32% used canal as a source of irrigation, and 42% used open well with pump set, and 16% of respondents used dam as a source of irrigation. So according to the annual income of the respondent, 24% of responded annual income was 1,50,000 and less, and 48 respondents reported their annual income to be between rupees 1 lakh to 2 lakhs. The highest income among the 400 respondents was earned by 4% had rupees 5 lakhs and above. And next, distribution of respondent expenditures indicating that 36.75% of reported education expenditure to be high, and 19% responded reported to be spending more on transport, and 18% responded reported that they spent more on food expense. I have observed very less bargaining power while selling the producers, and it was reported by 99.5% responded that did not involve themselves in collective bargaining activities. Regarding type of difficulty faced in the work, 56.25% responded reported availability of work to be the major constraint, and 32.5% of responded reported low wages to be the major concern. I have analyzed the respondent needs and the demand and found that the 18.25% of them opted for alternative source of employment during the non-seasonal period. And 3.7% of respondents opted for social security measures, and 54% of respondents demanded wastage to be increased. And 10% of respondents demanded distribution of surplus land, and 0.75% of respondents demanded protection of women and child labor. And the last 13.25% of respondents wanted better implementation of legislative measure. Now I'd like to conclude my topic. The role of agricultural laborers in everyday life is crucial because they are the interactive feeder of our everyday food. But the life of agricultural labor is miserable. They play a key role in a country like India, where the growth of population is always marked by an uptrend. But even the 7 decades after independence, the record changes in the economic condition of agricultural labor have not taken place to the satisfied level. The situation of the labor is still economically depressing, with the limited bargaining power and less communication between the agricultural labor. Even within the district have compounded.
Ma'am, kindly concluded within 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So this studies revealed that these labor needed alternate jobs during the non-seasonal period, and this could help them in improving the socio-economic status. There are core areas like improving their literacy level, better medical facility, adequate water for irrigation, offering fair prices for the produce, storage facility for preservation, and space for processing the crops, and improve the bargaining capacity, improve the caste-based partiality, offering secured life both in living and working places, which could be improved, and the responsibility lies in the hands of both public and government. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful presentation regarding this agricultural labors, their economic conditions in Viluppuram district. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next paper presentation is from Dr. Mrs. Jansi. She is Associate Professor in the Department of Historical Studies, Government Arts College for Men, Nandanam. Madam is going to present a paper on subtle role of women in environmental conservation. Madam, we welcome you, madam. Dr. Mrs. Jansi. Yeah.
I am audible?
Yeah, you're audible, ma. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm Dr. Jansi from Nandanam Government Arts College. I'm going to talk about the topic subtle role played by women in environmental conservation. This is my favorite
sorry
topic.
To interrupt you. Your heart is in Bharathi Women's College. That's why you have pronounced as Bharathi Women's College, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the subtle roles played by women in environmental conservation. Environment means surroundings. It refers to everything remaining around human beings. The word environment derived from the French word environment, that is environner, meaning encircle or surround. Environment is the sum total of water, air, land, and its interrelationships among themselves and also with human beings and other organisms. Started in the 1960s, the worldwide environmental movements have drawn the attention of many scholars, and studies have been conducted based on varied academic standpoints. However, seldom are there adequate recognition of women's contribution to the conservation of environment. This may serve as an inspiration to give proper recognition to women who play subtle roles in day-to-day lives in environmental conservation. Women always give greater priority to protection of and improving the capacity of nature for future generation, like recycling, reusing, and composting, making better transport choices, reducing the electricity usage, avoiding toxic chemicals, and so on. Repeated studies have shown that women have a stake in environment, and this stake is reflected in the degree to which they care about natural resources. Women, especially in rural environments, have direct contact with the nature and hence are affected the most by the environmental change like water resources drying up, walk longer distances to search for the resources. However, women have a vital role in environmental management and development and hence essential to achieve substantial sustainable development. Role of women in environmental conservation. This study has been made with the aim of understanding the role of women in development and protection of environmental culture. Women are the main cause of transmission of the culture in the environment for future generations. Most of the ideas about the role of women in environmental protection is the education of children in family and in workplace, in simple activities like avoiding the usage of plastics, recycling, reusing, and composting, lesser usage of individual transport, and opting for transport pooling or using public transport, avoiding usage of chemicalized products, less usage of electricity, and so on. Like this, women have always been closely associated with the environment conservation activities, directly or indirectly for the benefit of the society. Roles derived and shaped by the women in the society for environmental conservation. The first one is in soil conservation and agriculture. In soil conservation, agriculture, usually globally, women are contributing a great deal to the agricultural production. Their roles include production and distribution, planting and cultivation, weeding and harvesting, and as a result, they are victims of soil degradation. This provides an opportunity to participate actively in soil conservation projects and green smart organic farming. The next one is forest management. Forest plays a vital role in protecting the soils, water resources, air purification, and combating climate change. They are also vital in biodiversity conservation of economic importance. However, especially for rural women, wood fuel, charcoal, and kerosene are the main sources of energy, which are leading to deforestation, soil degradation, and air pollution. So women can therefore be actively involved in tree planting efforts and use of fuel like biogas. The third one is in water resource management. Women are at the center of the water management of the community water resources and household water requirements. They see taps are closed properly and prevent the children from wasting water. Women also is involved in rainwater harvesting and also protection and rehabilitation of existing water resources. The next one is the main important one is cleaning and waste disposal. Another important role played by women is directly involved in keeping the environment clean, especially in terms of garbage disposal. Considering the health hazard of garbage, women see that it's regularly disposed, separating the waste in biodegradable stuff and non-biodegradable stuff, doing it by themselves. Women's involvement with the environmental management and problems make them to participate actively in keeping the drainage around them is clean. The last one, which will not, my topic will not end without this one, that is ecofeminism. Another tool to be used in promoting women involvement in environmental conservation is ecofeminism. Ecofeminism offers a way of thinking and organizing ourselves and by encouraging interconnectedness with our environment and addressing the subjugation of women and marginalized people, categorizing women and subjugated people with the environment allows for the recognition of social and environmental injustices from a unique and often forgotten perspective, which in turn allows for solidarity and solace. Its primary aim is to address and eliminate all forms of domination while recognizing the women's contribution in environmental conservation, which leads the society to sustainable development. This is my small effort in making the society to recognize the unnoticed role played by women in environmental conservation in day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It's a wonderful presentation. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. So, thank you, madam. Thank you so much. My God. Next is Ms. B. Abhirami, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. She is going to present a paper on role of mass media in child development. Welcome you, Ms. Abhirami. Ms. Abhirami. Next is Professor Shivashankari, Guest Lecturer, Department of History, Arinyar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Walajapet. She is going to present a paper on integrated water resource management. Professor Shivashankari. Professor Shivashankari, Madam. Miss P. Kavita Palani, are you there in the meet? Miss P. Kavita Palani. Kavita Palani, Research Scholar, Annamalai University. Kavita Palani. Mrs. Jayagita, Department of History. I think Madam is from another.
No, this is Jayagita, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am, from Meenakshi College.
I think everybody.
Jayagita
Yes,
from Meenakshi College,
Mrs.
ma'am.
Jayagita from Meenakshi College. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, ma'am. Very good afternoon, ma'am. Today I'm going to present the topic is scavengers during the COVID-19 pandemic, a study. Sanitation is a hygienic means of promoting health through the prevention of human contact with the hazards of waste. The main objective of sanitation is to protect and promote human health by providing a clean environment and breaking the cycle of disease. India is the home of 5 million sanitation workers who clean garbage, sweeping the streets, savers, cleaning the savers and public toilets and drainage. This is the job of scavengers. This type of a cleaning work is being carried out in the entire nation. The basic of the sanitary work is all the same. The method of the work may vary from place to place depending upon the region and local environment and work culture. The brutality of a coronavirus termed COVID-19 has captured the world's attention. Is all about the virus, anxiety, and death. As the virus spread, words such as social distancing, self-quarantine, and work from home for the white-collar jobs, not among the labor class, it has become a quite popular. The choice of practice social distancing is a great privilege that is not possible for those who cannot say no to work for their livelihood. Sanitary workers also cannot refuse to work. They have to pick through the filthy raw garbage with their bare hand only on the street all the day. Meanwhile, the whole of the society around them practices cleanliness and social distancing to protect them from COVID-19. Scavengers who often lack basic of safety equipment and face social stigma due to the disgracefulness of task. Even before COVID-19, they face a multitude of hazardous health risks, including disease, drowning, and suffocations. They are already dying and suffering from forced social distancing by upper caste and have been treated as untouchables for generations. COVID-19 will further exacerbate this injustice and inequity for them. Now, scavengers are at greater risk due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They are subject to discrimination added with the stigma. And handling unmarked medical waste rising from homes where COVID-19 patients are quarantined, discarded masks, gloves, and tissues could likely to be sources for the spread of this highly contagious virus. Sanitation workers are extremely at a risk, like medical professionals, police, and community health workers who deal with the COVID-19 patients. It is observed that the sanitary workers are giving the least important among the frontline workers. Medical professionals such as doctors, nurses, and other health workers know by their nature of the profession about the precautions to be taken, but the sanitation workers do not take such precautions, and it rendered their work more risky. Sanitation workers who are not protected by adequate health and safety measures, it leads to injury, infection, disease, mental health issues, and even to death. The World Health Organization has also issued fresh guidelines for the sanitary workers during this COVID-19 pandemic, and these guidelines should be strictly adhered to in order to safeguard these frontline workers from coronavirus, this COVID-19 pandemic. The government should understand the sanitation workers get infected by COVID-19. It is dangerous to society and can play a larger role in the spreading of virus. The lockdown is a preventive measures during COVID-19 has a disastrous impact on each and every aspects of our life. Already they are indecent, forced, stigmatized, and the caste-based occupation of manual scavenging even is an endemic, which is making their life bad, and this COVID-19 situation make it as worse. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to
Thank
giving
you.
me grateful opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you for your presentation. Basically, it's regarding the frontline workers like scavengers. You have, yeah, we have to salute them for whatever they have done during the pandemic period. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Now I welcome Dr. Kamala Devi, Assistant Professor, Queen Mary's College, to present her paper on the topic, the Todas, primitive tribe of Nilgiris district.
Good afternoon to everybody. Ma'am, I would like to share my PPT, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Ma'am, can I share my PPT, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm visible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, is visible. You can continue.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Good evening to everyone. I would like to thank the principal madam and the HOD madam and the other members of the department for giving me this opportunity to present this paper. My paper is on the primitive tribes of Nilgiri district. It's reference to Todas. So when you're talking about Nilgiri Hills, it is famous for primitive tribes The Toda land is now called, it's a Nilgiris Biosphere Reserves. It's announced by the UNESCO. Then the tribal people of the Nilgiris are inhabiting different ecological settings. When you're talking about Nilgiri Hills, yes, you can see a number of tribal groups. 6 primitive tribes are in Nilgiri Hills: Todas, Kotas, Kurumbas, Irulas, Panyas, and Katunaikas. Yes, in the morning is the speaker talking about the tribal Irula tribes and their socio-economic conditions of the Irula tribes throughout Tamil Nadu. But my topic is only on Todas in Nilgiri Hills. Is when you are talking about the primitive tribes, yes, I mentioned one word, that is they are settled in a different settings. So the Panyas and the Muluk Kurumbas live in the lower slope of the district, that is Gulu Taluk, and Kurumbas and Irulas are in the Kotagiri and Kunnur Taluk, and Kotas in the elevation of 1,800 meters, that is in Kotagiri and Udagamana Taluk. But Kotas, they occupy the top of the plateau. This is the Nilgiri district map. Yes. Then, when you're talking about the Todas, they are the pastoral tribal people in the Nilgiri Hills. They used to be isolated with the other people. They used to be called as Todas. And the name derived from the word Tur. It's a sacred tree of the Todas. So here, yes, I gave statistics about the population of the tribes of Todas. See here, is in the year 1871, their total population is 693. Yes, in 1981, it's 675. 91, it's 739. Yes, when you're talking about 1981, they are in 864 members. So when you're talking about the population, is in India. In India, they used to say that yes, we have to control the population. But regarding the Toda tribal people, they want to increase the population because the population is extinct. So unique features. When you're talking about the Toda culture is unique. Why it is unique compared to the other tribal people means, yes, their settlement, their culture, their the way of dressing, everything is completely different from the other people. So first we are going to see yes, what is the settlement area. So first here I mentioned about the Todas. They are the original inhabitants of the Nilgiri Hills, and they are one of the most picturesque tribes of India. Then they are attracted when you are comparing with the other tribal people in the Nilgiri Hills. They are attracted by the foreigners as well as the ethnographers. They are settled in the Nilgiris. It is a widely scattered as well as the picturesquely situated in the midst of the Shola forest. They have continued to attract the attention of the social scientists from the early European period till today. They are living in 69 months. The settlement is called the months. Here, the settlement is called months. So when you're talking about the construction of the house, is completely different from the other tribal communities. See, this is the hut of the Toda people. Their construction is completely different from the other tribal people. Here I am going to give you the description about the settlement. The Toda hut, which are of an oval bench-shaped constructions, are usually 10 feet, that is 3 meters high, and 18 feet, 5.5 meter long, and 9 feet, that is 2.7 meter wide. They are built of bamboo fastened with rattan and are thatched. Each hut is enclosed with a wall of loose stones. The front and the back of the hut are usually made up of the dressed stones. The hut has a tiny entrance at the front. See, this is the entrance of the, actually this is the temple of the Toda people. See, this is the Toda settlement. Yes, in each settlement you can see only 4 or 5 houses in the settlement. See, this is the picture.
Madam, will you
This is
kindly
the
conclude, ma'am? Will
Okay,
you
okay,
kindly
okay.
conclude, ma'am?
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're talking about the Toda culture, it's completely different from other culture. It is unique. They are, then the people are also, it's in an extinct stage. So as a people of India, yes, we have to preserve their culture and we have to improve the living style of the people. Yes, by giving policies and by giving some welfare measures, we should not touch the culture of the people and we should not try to change the culture of the Toda people. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry.
Madam, Geetapriya, madam, I request you to kindly give your opinion about the present session, ma'am, and we will go for a break after hearing to your comments, ma'am.
Finally, we can give the comments, ma'am. We can go. The other participants will be waiting, no?
Okay, ma'am. So, shall we give a break for 5 or 10 minutes, ma'am?
Yeah, 5 minutes is okay, ma'am.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, a break for 5 minutes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
It
Thank
was
you.
going on very good, nicely, ma'am. Excellent way you have conducted. Yeah. I mean, this is a short duration. You have definitely it's going to be a successful one for you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we will go for a break for 5 minutes and resume back after 5 minutes. Feeling so delightful to come back to continue with the sessions. I invite you all to join once again. The next session of the day is going to start, and Dr. Rajeshwari Madam, Head of the Department of History, Meenakshi College for Women, is going to chair the session. Madam, I welcome you, Madam. Dr. Mrs. Rajeshwari Madam. Dr. Mrs. Rajeshwari Madam.
Ma'am, this is Anita from Meenakshi College. Shall I do presentation, ma'am?
Is it Mrs. Anita Angelin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. I welcome Dr. Rajeshwari Madam. Madam, I'm
Good
not
afternoon,
able-
ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
are you audible, ma'am? Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining the session. I request you to chair this session, madam. And now,
Yes, ma'am. Sure,
the
ma'am.
next
Sure.
paper present, ma'am. Yeah. Paper presenter, Mrs. A. Pungulali, Assistant Professor of History, Arinyar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Valajapet, but she's going to speak on biodiversity. Mrs. A. Pungulali. Ms. Anita Angelin is from which department? Which college?
Meenakshi College.
Meenakshi College, ma'am.
Okay, madam. I welcome you, madam. Please come, ma'am. Please.
Okay,
present
I
yourself.
myself Anita Angelin, working in Meenakshi College. My topic is nature inclusiveness in Buddhism. The purpose of this paper is to highlight how Buddhism values played a vital role in conservation of environment. It directly laid emphasis on the significance of living beings under the principle of ahimsa. Ahimsa means do not harm. 5 precepts of Buddhism obliged every Buddhist to respect each and every living being that exists. So one of the first Buddhist precept is that of non-harm. It does not give like proper guidance on the environment, but there is some discord between environmental ethics and Buddhism. And moreover, more Buddhists believe that it is essential to respect the cycle and balance in nature so that human being can live without worries. By doing so, the whole world benefits from avoiding needless exploitation. So Buddhism puts more emphasis on strong mind and actfulness to resolve any issues, and it can be attained through adherence to 5 precepts and eightfold path of Buddhism. So from the perspective of Buddhism, environmental degradations are caused by the selfish desire of human beings. Buddhism teaches an individual how to control his mind through his beliefs. So it promotes environmental education in terms of promoting harmony between the living beings. Lord Buddha advocated some beliefs such as loving, kindness, passion, compassion, abstain from killing, and those values, I think it seemed to fit the values needed for the protection and conservation of environment. Some of the Indian rulers like Ashoka, who embraced Buddhism, contributed much to the protection for the living beings as well as for the environment by following these Buddhism beliefs. Buddhism also encourages man to love and respect the nature. Since many of the Buddhist monks lived in the forest, they did very much to protect the forest around them. Some of the monks even devoted themselves to protect the environment. They created awareness among the people and solved some of the problems of deforestation in their habitation areas. They also discouraged the people from cultivating crops like sugarcane, which will degrade the soil fertility. So even some of them started some programs to raise awareness concerning pollution. So hence, Buddhism played a vital role in environmental protection those times. To conclude, we should take into account religious and their spiritual teachings when formulating environmental education curriculum. I think only through the strategy, I think we can foster the notion of environmental protection that is very much needed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anita. Angeline, your presentation was so nice. Shall we call next person, ma'am?
Thank you, ma. Meanwhile, I would, Madam Rajeshwari, Madam, if you kindly permit, I will just take 2 minutes of your time. I would like to specially thank Mrs. J. Geeta Priya, Head of the Department of Tourism and Travel Management at Anna Adarsh College for Women, for kindly consenting to be one of the session chair in this international seminar. Madam has 15 years of service in Anna Adarsh College, and she also served as a member of Board of Studies at various colleges in the city of Chennai. She also served as a member of inspection committee to start be vocational in tourism and travel management and hospitality in Madras Christian College. Madam, thank you so much for giving your consent to be a part of this session. Thank you, Madam.
Yeah.
Rajeshwari, Madam.
Pleasant
Thank you,
evening
ma'am.
a pleasant evening to everyone. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Prabhu Kumari, Ma'am, Head and Associate Professor, Department of History, Bharathi Women's College, for organizing this international seminar on environmentology and ethno-history. I would like to thank the principal of Bharathi Women's College, and I would also thank all the dignitaries who have graced the occasion in the morning, and also the participants. And thank you for the opportunity given to me, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was excellent way of organizing this seminar within a short duration. And best wishes to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind.
Ma'am, my name is not calling. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, my name is not calling, ma'am. Mary Hemarani.
Mary Hemarani, ma'am. So you're from which college, ma'am?
I'm from Queen Mary's College, ma'am.
Queen Mary's College. Okay, ma'am. We'll call you in just 2 minutes.
Yes,
We'll call you. Yeah. Thank you.
Shall we call this next person, ma'am?
K. Pungulali, Assistant Professor of History, Aditya Anna Government Arts College for Women, Valajapet. Madam, are you in the session? Mrs. A. Pungulali?
Yes, ma'am. I am here, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, please present. Yeah.
Good afternoon, one and all. I am A. Pungurali, History Department, Arinjarana Government Arts College, Valajapet. Today I talk about the topic biodiversity in India. So the effort is restricting the loss of global diversity have remained insufficient. Also the target being set at the Convention on Biological Diversity in 2010 have not resulted in the expected response from the member countries. As a result, a fresh set denied conservation targets. The biodiversity has threatened the number of reasons nationally and globally. Hence, in the contents of green growth, it is important to understand the prevailing risk threats to the biodiversity in India and how green growth help reduce the risk. In India, developmental projects have posed risk for the wild ecosystem and habitats, resulting in survival of number of species and flora and fauna. Important sectors such as mining and power have posed major risk for wild ecosystem and species. Risk and threat to biodiversity. These risks have continued over past many decades, predominantly in mineral-rich states such as Jharkhand, Orissa, and Chhattisgarh. The degradation of ecosystem and habitats, primarily due to the anthropogenic pressures, in increasingly becoming the evidence. There has been a continuous increase in area under the open forest category. Along the anthropologists, risk threats to biodiversity which have merged.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Punguli, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Professor at the Anna Government Arts College.
I don't know what to. I will tell my doctor to help me to start linking the account. It's just like that you can start, no? Once you are linked in, you will not be having test in last.
Shall we call next person, ma'am?
I heard now last.
சொல்லலாமா? இல்ல அதை தெரியும், அதுதான் சுட்டுக்கல. நீ கூப்பிடு. Sita Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Anna Arts College. Sita Lakshmi.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all. I am K. Sita Lakshmi, Assistant Professor of History, Anna Government College. My research topic is tannery process and its environmental inspection of tannery process and its environmental impacts of Ranipet district. Ranipet industrial area is about 120 kilometers from Chennai on Chennai to Bangalore highway and is chronic polluted area identified by Central Pollution Control Board of India. It is one of the biggest exporting center of tanned leather in India. The total number of industries located in the around Ranipet town are 240 tanneries along with ceramic, refractory, boiler auxiliaries, plant and chromium chemicals. Studies were ceramic out to find out the contamination of surface water bodies due to industrial effluents. The result revealed that surface water in the area highly contaminated, showing very high concentration of some heavy toxic metals like cadmium ranging from chromium average of 247, copper average of 95.5, nickel average 36.7. The concentrations levels of these metals are much above the permissible limit of surface water and are health hazard, especially for the people working of the tannery industries. It was observed that the people in the area seriously affected the suffering from the occupational disease such as asthma and skin disease. distribution of metals, their content in different locations, and that the on human health are discussed in this paper. Ranipet and Tamil Nadu, known for its tanneries and chemical treatment units, is the loan of India city to make top 10 district of polluted industrial city in the world. In 2003, Blacksmith Institute has released its 2006 report that placed Russia's 3 cities and Ranipet in India. Living in polluted town is like breathing death every moment. If immediate poisoning doesn't affect, there is cancer, lung infection, and metal degradation to give the people slow death, the report said. The factory is Ranipet is manufactures sodium chromate, chromium salt, and basic chromium sulfate tanning powder, and it used leather industry. According to the study of the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, nearly 15 lakh tons of solid waste accumulated over 2 decades. The plant operation are staked on the open yard and premises contamination in groundwater. The contaminations has affected the health, resource, and livelihood 1,000 people. The BI report said there is widespread fear that if the pollution level left unchecked the polar basin, the main drinking water sources in region could also contaminated. The severe health crisis made resident of Ranipet soon. It continued chromium and lead polluted. The industrial in region goes unchecked. Just a minute, ma'am. A resident of Ranipet pointed out the chromium bearing waste lying on the upon land on the premises of Tamil Nadu Chromate and Chemicals Limited at Scott Industrial Complex has been contaminating groundwater in the 30 kilometers radius. Promises by elected representatives of the routine of FI. According to the report submitted by Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board in 2016, the soil and the groundwater surrounding the site have been contaminated with chromium. The waste pileup of is about 2 hectares of lands. The Geological Survey of India had reported that exfoliated chromium contaminated has spread the southern direction up to distance 2 to 2.5 kilometers. The report.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Rajeshwari, madam, your comments?
Oh, it's a nice presentation, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I call upon Mrs. S. Mary Hemarani, research scholar, Queen Mary's College. She's going to present her paper on impact of rains in Nilgiri's transport. We welcome you, madam. Mary. Is Mary Hemarani?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, please switch on your video also, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I switched on, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I'm Mary Hemarani from Queen Mary's College. My research paper topic is impact of rains in Nilgiri's road transport. Nilgiri district has unique road infrastructure. Compared to railway, people are using roadways for go to the nook and corner of this hill station. Before Britishers, mostly road usage only used by the tribal society. Before it was not a smooth path. After John Sullivan, the initial steps taken for proper road. Now, roadways are playing vital role for transportation in every aspects of this hill station. Lot of casual factors which causes for damages of Nilgiri roads. This study examines the impact of rain during the monsoon season in Nilgiris. Due to the heavy rainfall, huge damages occurs on road. The objective of the study, how Nilgiri Hill Road should be prevented from disasters, especially due to heavy rainfall. The study explored various factors having impact on Nilgiri's roadways and other mitigation measures during both southwest and northeast monsoon. Nilgiri district is one of the major hotspot landslide hilly area in Tamil Nadu. Various natural disaster occurs in this hilly region. Heavy rain, storm, floods, etc. Due to this, frequently roads are affected by these natural calamities. Consequences of this landslide and soil erosion damage the roads. We need to find out the solution for the maintenance of hill roads. Two important steps is need to apply prevention and rectify the damages of the hill roads. Here, government role is very much important, particularly in highway department and Panchayat Union doing major role in Nilgiris. Especially hilly road maintenance, pertinent research is very less, but international organization funds countries to maintain quality roads. Early Nilgiri roads laid by Britishers. For various reasons, they visited here. Eventually, they realized the importance of transportation for further usage and establishments. John Sullivan, the collector of Coimbatore, took initiative steps for roads. From Dimhati to Kalhati, first road laid in 1821. After Britishers, how hill roads maintained and prevented, this study focused on these phenomena. Issues and challenges to protect roads. To protect the Nilgiri road, it has various challenges and issues. Especially maintenance of road is the most important challenges for highway department, laborers and engineers as well. This challenge arises mainly in heavy precipitation period of time in Nilgiris. Various causes of road destruction, rainfall. The Nilgiri district usually receives rainfall during the both southwest and northeast monsoon. The average rainfall in this region varies from place to place and it between 1,500 mm to 3,000 mm. In November 2019, the district received in rainfall in 547 mm, which is the highest rainfall record in a period of 30 years during in this month. Intense rainfall triggered landslide at more than 300 locations, affected road and rail traffic and destroyed number of buildings, which left more than 50 people dead and 100 homeless. Metropolitan Ooty Kunnur National Highway had landslide at many places. The road got completely washed away at few locations and remained cut off for 3 months. Nilgiri Mountain Railway, declared as World Heritage Site by United Nations, suffered severe damages. The railway track was hanging and at many places with the supporting subgrade washed away and few bridges completely destroyed. Especially in 1891, storm causes for a lot of damages to Kotagiri Metropolitan Road. Causes of heavy rainfall, roads are affecting. In 1902, the old and new Kunnur Ghat Road affected by heavy rainfall. All the traffic of the eastern side of the plateau was thrown upon the Kotagiri Ghat, which has itself is perilous condition slip having occurred throughout the being series in 6 places of its 21 miles length. Landslide along the Kotagiri Ooty Road failure is observed to be of rotation come translational type. Mud flow was observed for a distance of about 500 m down the slope. Water oozed out of the failed surface about 10 m below the road surface and it continued for a few days even after the landslide. Though the slope is relatively flat and failure is mainly due to buildup of pore pressure during rainfall and presence of high mountain on the other side of the road added to the
Ma, please come to your conclusion, ma.
Conclusion of my research paper is continuous maintenance and supervised stability of hill slope is most important preventive action from landslide. Proper mitigation activities should be taken for safe roads from landslide. Necessity to find previously the disaster, then must mitigate them. The major causes for the occurrence of the landslide in the Nilgiri regions were the heavy monsoon rainfall in the hill slope and widening of roads in hill as measure of developmental activities by the government department. As other hill stations like Himalaya, geotechnological investigation is must in Nilgiri district. Immediate triggering factor of heavy rainfall is causes for extreme road damages. Other various reasons also causes for road deterioration. Deforestation, extreme cash crop cultivation, human activities for development purposes also reason for disaster.
And will you kindly conclude, madam?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. It affects roads transportation in this. Government must provide sufficient funds for pertaining geotechnological investigation and prevention actions. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Ma'am, your comments, ma'am. Rajeshwari, madam.
I think this seminar will be very useful for the PhD scholar because to inculcate their knowledge also, ma'am. So it's very useful for the PhD scholars. My heartfelt congratulations to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. As a support of all of you, ma'am. God's blessings. So I call upon next speaker, Mrs. Sophia, who is working as assistant professor in Anna Adarsh College for Women. She is going to present a paper on the condition of workers in the tanning industry in Madras Presidency during the British rule.
Good afternoon.
Welcome you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone.
Yeah.
The condition of workers in tanning industry during British period in Madras Presidency. The objective of my study is basically to understand the working conditions of the people who are working in the tanning industry during the British time, especially in Madras Presidency. Okay, the sources what I have used is mostly it's the primary sources. Okay, so the tanning industry was one of the biggest industries in the Madras Presidency during the British period. This industry was basically centered around yellow.
Madam, I'm sorry to interrupt. Will you kindly on your video?
Yes, my video is on, ma'am.
But it's not seen, ma'am.
It's not visible, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's in the name of Bala Dayakar Silvaraju.
Oh, it's mine, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Ma, it is not seen, ma. It's Mary Hemarani. It's not seen. Please click the icon, no?
Switch on your videos, ma.
The video, no? There is an icon for video that you click.
That is on, ma'am. Actually, I'll just check it.
Ma'am, she is visible, ma'am. She is visible. Sophia is visible.
But I can't able to visit.
Ma'am, if you unpin yourself and turn on to gallery view, everybody will be visible, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you can proceed, ma.
Yeah.
Am I visible, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay, you can proceed, ma.
Carry on, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So this industry is basically centered on the Ellora-Bejwada region, North Arcot region, the surroundings of the Madras city, Erode, Coimbatore, Tiruchirappalli, and Dindigul region. So Madras Presidency was ranked first in respect of the number of tanneries and was the second largest producer of hides and skins. The tanning industry in the province of Madras was well developed and it has a greater reputation in international market for its quality. Almost half of the hides exported from India were from Madras Presidency. So the leather industry in Madras Presidency has a long history going back to the middle of the 19th century. In Madras Presidency, the leather making activities mainly centered around the village charmers. Though India was a traditional producer of leather, export trade in raw hides and skins and leather began only in 1830s during the British period. At first, India exported only the raw and cured hides and skins, but by 1850, they began exporting tanned hides and skins as well. So international export of leather was booming during the 1880s. So until 1847, the locally tanned hides and skins in Madras produced pale yellow and flexible leather by using avaram bark. This type of leather becomes defective when exposed to sunlight. Due to oxidization, it turns to an ugly red color and patchy leather. So the Madras tanners that received complaints from overseas buyers because of this. It was then in 1847, Charles de Souza, a French Eurasian technologist, he treated this avaram tanned leather with a tan liquor from myrabulan in a process called the myrabulan bath. After that, the tanned leathers of the Madras Presidency were found to be capable of quality globally. So the tanning industry, this is the policy of the Britishers towards the tanning industry. So the tanning industry was one of the unorganized sector during the British period. A number of the people, they were involved in the tannery to the major work. Apart from those, there were laborers for unloading and stacking, cutting the bark and splitting the myrabolums for removing the flesh and hair. There were also clerks, weighing men, supervisors, and watchmen who were paid monthly. Women are also employed usually for splitting the fruits and for filling the bark and pits with water. The working condition of these people were deplorable. Being one of the largest industry in Madras Presidency, during the British period, there were around 20,000 direct workers and 10,000 workers employed indirectly in the tanning industry. So most of these people were from the depressed class. However, the conditions of tanneries were also vulnerable for nearly a century. So the Madras government's Court of Inquiry in 1947 inquired about the working conditions of the laborers working in the tanning industry. This inquiry brought to the light that there were around 407 tanneries in the Madras Presidency, of which 2 were European owned, which worked on a large scale. Many tanneries were not traceable as they come and go only during the season. The two European-owned tanneries had an organized labor union. In 1942, when the government brought these tanneries under the Factories Act, their inspection was ineffective as number of tanneries come up and disappear in 3 or 4 months. So by 1945, out of 407 tanneries in Madras Presidency, only 184 were found under the large industrial establishments which came under the Indian Factories Act for the year 1947. Conclusion now. Tanning industry was one of the oldest and biggest industries in Madras Presidency. Almost all the districts of Madras Presidency had a tannery. The indigenous tanning method was much primitive until the introduction of the European methods in India. This paved the way for the transformation from a cottage industry to the factory-based industry. Though there were trade fluctuations, Madras dominated the export of leather during the British period. The main reason for its domination was availability of the cheap and suitable materials and skilled labor. So the working conditions of these laborers were vulnerable, and this was an unorganized sector during the British period. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma. Actually, what's your name, ma?
Sophia Rashida, ma'am.
Marie, Sophia?
Rashida.
Rashida. But Mary's Mary's Marani. Who's that? Mary.
Mary Mehermani. Mary Hemrani.
Who's that, ma?
I don't know. I think she has not joined, madam. Shall we go with the next presentation if you don't mind?
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Okay.
Next is Dr. Cynthia Jude, Assistant Professor, Department of History and Tourism, Stella Maris College, Chennai. She is going to present a paper on responsible tourism, best strategy to curb global warming. Madam, I welcome
Very good
you.
afternoon to one and all present here. I first and foremost thank Dr. Prabhu Kumari Vanama for giving this opportunity to present my paper in this international conference. I would hereby like to present my screen for you.
But the video is not visible.
Ma'am, that is because you have this Mary Hema Rani, no? She has pinned her screen. She has to unpin her screen. So only if she unpins the screen, the visibility will be available. Or if you could turn on the gallery view, it will be visible for you. That is a problem. I just noticed that Mary Hema Rani has pinned herself to the screen. So only her screen is visible and nothing else is visible. So if you turn on the gallery view, everything else would be visible. Try that, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so as ma'am had just now introduced, my topic for today's presentation in the international seminar on environmentology and ethnic history is on responsible tourism, which is the best strategy to curb global warming. So,
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you be little louder, ma'am?
louder? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. So, my topic for today's international seminar is responsible tourism and the best strategy to curb global warming. So, I would like to make it very clear that environment is nothing but the sum total of the neighboring living organisms and anything and everything that we are living in. I think that the PowerPoint template that I've put up, which is that of a forest, will give you a very clear picture of what an environment is: the greenery, the water, the lush plants which are available, the animals which live in there. All that is our environment. And it is such a irony that we, the human beings, are the ones who are causing the maximum damage to the environment. And the maximum damage that we are causing is eventually leading to global warming. And you know that global warming is something which is kind of very threatening to life on the face of the earth. And global warming itself is the result of human practices and the emission of greenhouse gases. So, in this paper, I have followed a very simple method of narrative, historical, and methodological writing, where I have just analyzed the various aspects of responsible tourism, global warming, as well as the advantages of responsible tourism, whereby it paves a best way or a best means to curb global warming and have a better and sustainable future for the um, conservation of the environment. So, responsible tourism is nothing but a very latest trend in the tourism industry, which has been promoting conservation and protecting the environment to the maximum. And responsible tourism is nothing very significant or nothing that is out of the reach of any human being. It is just being responsible. If you are responsible, your responsibility could lead to a better nation, could lead to a better family, could lead to a better workplace. Similarly, in the aspects of tourism, responsible tourism will lead to a better world and a better environment. So, we all are aware of the fact that tourism is one aspect that leads to so much of devastation and so much of damage to the environment. And if we are responsible, then definitely it would curb global warming, and it would bring about so much of betterment on the face of the earth, whereby the ecology will sustain itself and bring about a tremendous impact on the society and the human beings. So, responsible tourism is not only the responsibility of the tour operators or the governments or the local people, it is the responsibility of each and every individual personality who takes up a tour. So, if we are responsible enough, we would definitely have a better world and a better place to live, and global warming and anything similar to that would never happen to the face of the earth if we are responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Excellent, Cynthia, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shall we call next person, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Can we call Miss Sangamitrai from Kaidamillat Arts College for Women? Sangamitrai?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, ma'am.
What's your designation, ma'am?
Ma'am, PhD research scholar, ma'am. Department of PhD research scholar, Department of Historical Studies.
Guide, ma'am?
Dr. K. Vijaya, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Your initial?
T. Sangamitrai, ma'am.
T. Sangamitrai. Okay, ma'am. Carry on, ma'am. You can just finish within 4 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Let me know if I'm inaudible, ma'am.
You're audible, yeah. Only thing you're, yeah. You're audible.
Okay. In 1754, Benjamin Franklin published one of the most famous cartoons in history, The Join or Die. This political cartoon has 8 parts of severed snake image that symbolize the British colonies. Franklin needed all the colonies to join hands to address the French threats. And he succeeded. From the incident, we could see a cartoonist has the ability to start a war or end one. Today, I'm going to critically review the political cartoons of Lingworth on Indian freedom struggle. My name is Sangamitrai. I'm pursuing my doctoral degree in Kaidamillat Government College for Women, Department of Historical Studies. The aim of my study is to analyze Lingworth's political cartoon in order to pursue and deduce about how the Britishers saw our struggle for freedom. Since this is actually provides a fresh perspective into the caricatures pertaining to Indian independent movement, as most of the caricatures and cartoons are an opinion being expressed by an Indian artist, but this provides an outsider set of eyes on how the colonizer perceived our struggle for independence. Leslie Gilbert Lingsworth was a Welsh political cartoonist who is best known for his work.
Ma'am, will you kindly tell your title of your paper, ma'am?
Yeah.
Title of your paper, ma'am?
I told you, critical review of the Lingworth's political cartoon on Indian freedom struggle, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. After the presentation, you WhatsApp it, ma'am. After presentation, please WhatsApp. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Leslie Gilbert Lingworth was a Welsh political cartoonist who is best known for his work in the Daily Mail, a British newspaper. He drew cartoons to lift Britain's morale during Second World War. After the war ended, Lingworth was able to concentrate more on domestic issues in his cartoons, but he kept a keen eye on foreign affairs, especially when they are related to Britain's, like the cartoon But Can They, which was published on December 17, 1946 in Daily Mail. This cartoon has a British soldier confronting a tiger named Civil War. Jawaharlal Nehru is sitting above the tiger's cage, urging him to quit India, saying, "We can do without you." Jawaharlal Nehru replies, "If you want to quit India, then you must quit Britain." This cartoon became famous because it portrayed British
Sangamitrai, you are freezing, ma.
sitting on a cloud named Congress Cloud Cuckoo Land. He is holding a scroll which states, "New crack-brained scheme of helping the United Nations by revolting against the British." Japanese soldiers standing on Burma are looking up at him and dancing around happily and shouting. Translated into Japanese, it means, "Welcome to India, Japs." As I said in the beginning, a cartoonist can start a war or end one. Lingworth's cartoon indeed provide a great support to our independence movement and set the course of freedom struggle in his own way. False assumption of foreign historians and political figures made us pursue freedom even more. Thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. It's a very peculiar topic. It's very interesting. Is this your PhD topic, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next I call M. Saravana Bhavan, research scholar, Government Arts College, Tirutani. M. Saravana Bhavan. M. Saravana Bhavan.
Mr. Saravanan, sir.
Ramakrishna
Saravanan,
Rao,
sir.
independent researcher. K.V. Ramakrishna Rao.
Yes.
I welcome, sir.
Am I audible?
You can proceed now, sir.
Okay, okay. So that's my topic is about how that remote sensing can be used for archaeology. I want to show my PowerPoint. Can you allow to share? Hello?
Sure, sir. Sure. You can proceed, sir.
How to do that? Share.
Sir, audible.
So now it is visible. Is it visible? Hello?
Yeah, visible,
Yes,
sir.
it's visible. Yes.
Visible, sir.
Okay, so this remote sensing used for archaeological purpose is a new developing subject and highly technical. Therefore, for others, if you use, because I am basically an engineer also, but if you use such a terminology, they may not be properly conveyed to history and other professors or teachers. So remote sensing is just sensing from the distance. Sensing from the distance means, say for example, I will show some this one. Is this visible? This is visible?
It's visible, sir.
Yes.
Visible, sir.
So here, what the experts say, we can use different platforms. That is, the instruments or gadgets, say satellite, airplane, without man, helicopter, balloon, camera, and then nowadays we use drone also. It all depends on the distance, how much, what is the distance we use, and there are methods. And here, without digging, we can understand the hidden or embedded objects stratigraphically. Because in archaeology and geology, whatever that, even that environmentology or whatever the thing, that stratigraphical layers analysis is very much important, and ultimately that is useful for dating also. So these are the methods. Because of the time allotted, only 5 minutes to me, I just come to one important example. For example, here is visible that bottom one is with 5 layers. And you see that green color top and blue, then reddish and brownish, etc. So here, how we can analyze this without digging? Just by taking a photograph with what is known as volumetric photography. This is what they say voxel. Just like pixel it's a voxel. Voxel means volumetrically taken photograph. This we can it can be broken, this layer. Say for example, you see the top, this is the bottom, then again above the layer, then this one. This is the top. This is the top one. So we here on left hand side, you can see it will be like this. Then the second layer will be like this. Third layer will be like this. Fourth layer, then fifth layer. So this I am showing just one example how we can dig. I mean, without digging, how these entire layers can be analyzed, and also we can clearly see the embedded objects also. Once it is confirmed, then we can do actual digging without affecting the surroundings. So this is the basic principle. I think the 5 minutes is over. So if any question is there, I can respond.
Thank you so much, sir.
So shall I start?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Next, I welcome B. Abhirami. Abhirami, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. Abhirami, are you there?
Abhirami.
Next, I call Samundiswari from Kaidamillat College. Are you ready to present, Samundiswari?
Chamundeshwari from Kaidam Millet College. Are you in the link, ma?
Samundiswari, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
You can proceed now, Samundiswari.
I'm Soundashir from Kaidamillat College. My topic is cyberbullying, abuse of innovative technology. The rapid advancement of technology has changed the way of life mankind. The technology development has reshaped the world. The social network have evolved into the cultural reality emergent technology. The digital technology help young people achieve their daily goals and efficiently. However, the accidental results of digital technology has measured cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is defined as cyberbullying as an harassment of others by means of new electronic technology primarily mobile phones and the internet. Compared to the traditional bullying, cyberbullying is such as unique nature of, with respect to publicity, anonymity, lack of supervision. The type of cyberbullying comes in many different forms. Flaming is similar to harassment but is referred to online fight. A violent argument to take place through the mails, instant messaging, chat room. It is sort of public online bullying, which is supplemented with image and harass languages in order to add emotion to the message communicated. Exclusion to occur, this group will then do whatever they can online, turn to exclude a person through the impolite message, mischievous comment, and the nasty mail. Outing is a public display forwarding unique personal private information of someone, such as picture, video, as well as conversation, such as text message. Instant message more times involved with sexual information about the victim, which may result in psychological damage. Cyberbullying on social media. Social media sites are on the leading to place of the preteens and teens experiencing bullying. Whether they are being bullying someone, what is the tracking in the 90% of those who witnessed bullying on their social media sites have ignored the behavior. The petition began the scenes of bullying, which is electronic transmission damaging words and photos. It allows a petition to reach the victims carefully and anonymously through the online means. Unlike physical operations, the cyberbullies can torture students 24/7, railing on tools like social media platform, instant messaging, blogs, and websites rather face-to-face encountering. What are the most applications are used commonly by cyberbullying? Facebook, of course, cyberbullying happened on Facebook. Deceptive the internet network reason declined the popularity among the teens. Millions still encouraged us the one of the most common form of cyberbullying. Facebook is harass, commenting, and uses self photos. It is vehicular circle really teens who most photos are looking past you. They ended up getting us opposite way. Instagram is an untold product of the rise of Instagram. The popularity rate me post unpromoted beauty content. The teens, frequently girls, are most affected in this. Post pictures of themselves with hashtag. It not surprisingly, many of the comments or anything post positive. Instagram users who set up their account and private actively comments from strangers. Effects of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying affecting lot of impact, but is the particularly mental and physical effect. Cyberbullying lead to increase of stress, along with this increase anger a person. Feel of isolated, and cyberbullying feel alone as they have fear for sharing information they have fear to take with the strangers. Disinteresting is attending college and schools. People who are suffering from cyberbullying are not interested to attend the classes, to don't feel comfortable there because embarrassed of humiliation between their fellow students, which is the result to give negative impact of the result. Sometimes attempt of the suicide, sometimes because of high effect of cyberbullying, victims can attempt to suicide, and some people who cannot tolerate this type of situation like feel the best opinion to end all the problem in suicide. Conclusion. Cyberbullying is a serious issue. It's very difficult for the person who is suffering from it. Teachers should give awareness to the students about cyberbullying and the negative effect of social media, and students should feel free consult the teachers and parents. There are various laws established in the country because the increase of cybercrime country launched many laws. The rules are designed to protect the victims but keep the cases information confidential. There are different government awareness programs which aware people about cyberbullying, and the people must cooperate, support the victims who are suffering through the situation. I giving some suggestion. Creating new app for stop cyberbullying. Keep your profile set up to private.
1 minute.
I collect plastic. Monitor and update privacy settings regularly. Don't friend or unfollow your friends. If you see it and report it, educate yourself and others your negative impact of cyberbullying. Thank you. I turn to my topic. I especially thank to Prabhavana ma'am for giving wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. I have one doubt, ma. Most of the youngsters misuse the social media. How it will overcome that problem? Do you have any idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your PhD topic?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Most of people think that it is like a feel of some unhappy. They do some revenging and some kind of things. So they feel it is generally get revenge of someone. So it is not a good one. So most of it we all of educated them. What is how to technology using in a good way. This is all best way, ma'am. Using of technology in best things.
But one more thing, you are mentioned the cyber crimming, but most of the people, they are not aware of the cyber crimming. How it will promote that aware of cyber crimming? Do you have any idea?
Yes, ma'am. If in case you in social media account, Facebook, Google, or Twitter page, you Facebook also have a awareness program in our like a LinkedIn page, ma'am. Some click on buttons. They have an instruction to how to use your social media account, how to protect social media account. They give some instruction to you, but some people cannot see it. Some people cannot. So this is unusual. They think so. If in case you use it, you can see what are the social media most safety way you are using, ma'am. This is the most one of the like every person follow. They ought to self they follow the ourselves. Hello, ma'am, can you hear
Okay,
me?
ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Shall we call next person, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Now I call Matthew Thomas Cruz, Faculty, Department of Human Excellence from Loyola College. Matthew Thomas. Next I call. Welcome. Sarana Bhavan, Research Scholar, SS Government Arts College, Tirthani. Sarana Bhavan. I call now Nanjil Kumar, Assistant Professor, Arjun Anna Government Arts College for Women, Valajapet, Global Warming. Nanjil Kumar. Next, Raj Kumar, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. Raj Kumar.
Rajkumar sir. I think he is not here, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Next, I call B. Abhirami, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. B. Abhirami.
Abhirami.
Ma'am, next. I will go next, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
P. Kavita Palani, Research Scholar, Department of History, Annamalai University. P. Kavita.
Kavita from Annamalai University, please come.
Next, Ravichandran, Assistant Professor in History, Muthurangam Arts College. P. Ravichandran sir, are you there?
Ravichandran sir. Ravichandran sir.
Next,
I think he is not here.
Yes, ma'am. I call Sangeeta, a Department of History and Tourism, Anna Others College for Women. Sangeeta.
Sangeeta.
Okay, ma'am. I'll go next, ma'am. Angel Mary and Lena, Scott Christian College. Angel Mary is the Angel Mary and Lena.
No, ma, that person is not here.
I call now Mrs. G. Chitra, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Arindar Anna Government Arts College for Women, Valajapet. Chitra, ma'am.
Chitra.
Chitra ma'am.
Chitra Aringer Anna Arts College. Chitra ma'am.
இல்லைங்க ma'am. I call now Sivasankari, Department of History at the Ranna Government Arts College for Women. Professor Sivasankari.
Shivashankari ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. That's all, ma'am. Anybody else? No, ma'am. Yes.
If anybody else is missed out or anybody else are pending, please let us know. We are going to conclude the session. Please let us know. Anybody is there? Okay. Madam, Dr. Rajeshwari, madam, will you kindly conclude this session with your remarks, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It gives me immense pleasure to be here today in this international seminar on environmentology and ethno-history conducted by Department of Historical Studies, Bharathi Women's College. I feel honored and I would like to thank Principal of Bharathi Women's College for having me here as a chairperson. And my sincere thanks to Dr. Prabhu Kumari ma'am, because she is very close to me. She is one of the best advisor also, and I hope the seminar will be very beneficial and thought provoking for the youngsters. So my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, you are freezing, ma'am.
Mike. Your mic.
Can you hear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we received a message chat in the chat box. Somebody by name Ms. Durga R. She would like to present a paper. Can we permit her, ma'am, with your
Yes,
kind-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Durga R. Please introduce yourself and present the paper. Ms. Durga. Durga.
Durga.
Unmute, ma. Durga, unmute your computer. Durga R. Unmute your computer. Computer unmute பண்ணுங்க மா. Your recording is paused or something. Please. Durga R.
Durga.
Okay, ma. Okay. Okay, then carry on, ma. Present your paper. Durga, if you have unmuted, you present your paper. Please speak.
Durga. Durga. Durga, you can proceed,
Yeah,
ma.
it's okay, ma. Angel Mary and Leena, we have seen your presentation. Ms. Durga R. She's telling, ma'am, I have unmute. But we are not able to hear, ma. Neither we could see you nor hear you.
I think she has some network issue, ma'am.
Yeah, I think, yeah. She has come, ma'am. Thank you. Durga, அது choose பண்ணுங்க. Will you kindly speak? My voice is not audible. Even the screen is not seen.
Durga?
அது திருப்பி திருப்பி போடுறாங்க நம்ம. What is the reason? அவங்க முடிச்சிட்டான்னு சொல்றாங்க.
We are not getting any audios, ma. Durga? I think you are unmute your audio. We are not getting your voice, ma.
Ms. Durga, there is no voice at all, ma.
Connect to the internet audio.
She has some technical issues, ma'am.
Think,
Durga?
yeah, as madam has rightly said, there are some technical issues. We are not able to hear you, but still we don't want you to feel sad. What you can do is each slide 5 seconds you show it, and you can just proceed, ma.
She's unmuted, ma'am, but she's not able to.
That's what, ma'am. Let her at least show the slides and proceed ahead, ma'am, because what, ma'am? Shall we ask her to just show the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, Durga, no problem. You present your slides.
Yeah, show your slides, no? That will do. No problem.
Ma'am, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma. Yes, yes. You can continue.
Carry on, carry on.
I'm really sorry for this, ma'am.
Yeah, carry on, ma. Just 3 minutes.
Okay, no problem. You can continue.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, my topic is Welfare Initiative of Dravidian Movement, the pioneer of social reforms in Tamil Nadu. So, the 21st century is primarily a common man's country in comparison to the past, when all the civilizations were hierarchical, with the minority enjoying the benefit at the expenses of the majority based on the discriminations. Discriminations, the way is color discrimination, race and sex in early period, within and among the different conceptions of human rights existed. So the beginning of the Dravidian culture lay in the social reform movement. It eventually morphed into a political movement that gained power and political support. So the ideology of the social reform movement, which was adopted in the governance by the Dravidian movement in order to change the social balance of social institutions and the social structure. So hence, and this present paper is made attempt to analyze some of the remarkable welfare initiatives which was enacted by the Dravidian movement for the upliftment of the Tamil society, or we can say for the social transformation for Tamil Nadu also. And as we all know that Indian society suffered from the peculiar disease, the caste system. So this caste system divided our society into watertight compartment. we all know about the caste system which was prevalent in our society. It is already explained by Brinda Kumari also. So I just skip this one. And yeah, among the in caste system, Brahmins were the most uppermost caste who enjoyed all the privileges in all the fields. For example, according to the 1911 census report, Brahmins made up 3.1% of the Hindu population, while non-Brahmins were made up of 85.8%. Hence, the Hindus made up around 90% of the overall population, with only 3% of them being Brahmins. So despite this, they had a commanding position in all the fields like education, employment, and even politics. So under these circumstances, various social reforms were established, especially Dravidian movement, which was started as a platform to eradicate the social inequalities, women empowerment, and improvement of lower class and downtrodden, and also to ascertain the self-respect of the local people in the Tamil Nadu. So in this way, in the beginning of 20th century, a significant transformation took place in the social life of the people. Periyar played a crucial role. He is a tenacious fighter against the injustice, and he has carved out a niche in the Hall of Fame in Tamil Nadu and beyond. He aroused the conscience of submerged communities in the new awakening of this human dignity and equality. So let us move to the, let me say the welfare schemes. What are all the schemes we have? So there are a number of welfare schemes designed to promote social justice, equality, economic development, socio-political development, and empowerment of women, and development of children and disabled people, also for the social transformation among the different sections of Tamil society. So we have a number of welfare measures for depressed class, women, transgender, education, labor, health, environment, and so on. So another, I would like to mention few legislations which was enacted by the Dravidian movement. First one is communal rights. There are many legislations was enacted. One is communal rights, temple entry law, legal abolitions of Devdasi system, law preventing child marriage, legal sanction for divorce, and law for appointment of female teachers, and the legal sanction for property rights to women, legal establishment of Samatvapuram, and the right by a law for appointing archakars, and reformations of Tamil script, and the total ban of hand rickshaws. So these are the welfare initiations which are already earlierly introduced by the Dravidian government, and that now is being interrupted in different forms and coming as a different legislation, resolution, and national policy. So Dravidian movement waged an epic struggle to get rid of social evils, established human rights in our country. And thank you so much. So this is my slide.
Thank you so much, my excellent presentation, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Prabha Kumari, ma'am, and
Thank you,
Bala, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, I thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Rajeshwari, ma'am, for all your support. Can you just say one or two sentences about the present session, ma'am? We are eager to hear to you.
I hope the seminar will be very beneficial and thought-provoking for the youngsters, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. We
Can
would
I
like
leave the meet,
to...
ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kind of you, ma'am. Thank you. Kind of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would also like to thank your principal, ma'am, who is always inspiring person. So my thanks are to your principal also, ma'am. Please convey my regards to her. Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to come into the last session. I would like to first honor the special guest of the day, Dr. Saji Baby sir, and Dr. Chellaperumal sir. Dr. Saji Baby sir. Dr. Saji Baby sir. Dr. Chellaperumal sir. I request the audience to give your feedback. One or two people can, scholars or professors can give your suggestions or feedback about this seminar.
So can we wind up? Hello?
Hello?
Can we wind up or?
Sir, we are not able to see you, sir.
No, 1 minute.
Yeah.
No. Shall I write or the seminar is over?
No, sir, it is there, sir. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, sir.
Okay.
It's not over, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. We would like to honor the guests and just 2 minutes and vote of thanks also, please. Dr. Saji Baby, sir, thank you for joining us. We would like to honor you, sir. So we would like to honor you, sir. That's for you. It's for you. Thank you. It's for you, sir. Please. Some informative books for you. Dr. Saji Baby, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Chellaperumal, sir, will you kindly come to the screen if possible? Dr. Chellaperumal, sir, will you kindly come to the screen? Sorry. We would like to honor you, sir. Dr. Chellaperumal, sir. And a small token of our affection to you, sir. So thank you. We thank you both for joining us, sir. So before concluding the session, first of all, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart Lord Almighty for showering His blessings on me to conduct this seminar on behalf of the Department of History. I thank Dr. Mrs. D. Gladys Madam, Principal, Bharathi Women's College, for kindly consenting to conduct this international seminar amidst all obstacles. Thank you so much, ma'am. My special thanks are due to Dr. Mrs. Lataf Madam, Head of the Department of Commerce, for always encouraging us. I humbly thank Dr. Mrs. Fatima Madam, Head of the Department of Biochemistry, for her unstinted support and joining us in the morning with a wonderful message. I fail in my duty if I don't thank the staff of my department for all their support. I thank from the bottom of my heart Mrs. B. Ponmudi, but for whose support this event shouldn't have happened in this manner. Beyond everything, I thank the guest speakers, Dr. Saji Baby, who has taken all the efforts and pains to take part in this international seminar. Especially, I would like to thank Dr. Chellaperumal sir, Dean of Law and Professor of Anthropology, a fatherly hearted person, for his encouragement in all the endeavors, whether it is staff members or the students, everybody he encourages with a whole heart. Thank you, sir. I also thank everybody from all the colleges, the research scholars and the staff members for taking part in this seminar. I also very specially thank the Head of the Department of Anadarsh College, Geeta Priya Madam, Dr. Geeta Priya Madam, and Dr. Meenakshi Madam, Dr. Rajeshwari Madam from Meenakshi College for Women. She is the Head of the Department of History Department for chairing the sessions. And beyond everything, I thank all of you for presenting your papers. And very shortly, we will put our effort to publish these papers. So I thank you all. And before that, I request Dr. Mrs. Ponmudi to come and go ahead with the vote of thanks. Thank you. I'm sorry, I also would like to thank iComputers for their technical support.
Good evening to all of you. I hereby thank Madam Principal Dr. Mrs. B. Gladys Madam, VWC, for her kind encouragement amidst all obstacles. I especially thank Dr. Mrs. Lataf Madam, Head of the Department of Commerce, her unstained support. I also thank Dr. Mrs. Fatima Madam, Head of the Department of Biochemistry, for delivering welcome address. I thank the Head of the Department of Historical Studies, Dr. Prabhu Kumari Vanamma, for her encouragement and unstained support. I thank all the staff of the Department of Historical Studies, their efforts in supporting the seminar. Thank you all.
Yeah, okay, sir. Please on the screen, sir, we are seeing you. Dr. Saji Baby, sir. Yeah. Dr. Saji Baby, sir. I just received a call from you. We're just waiting. Hello. Hello. You're not seen, sir. Yeah, will you just Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I request you all to stand up for the national anthem. National anthem. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Thank you.